Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome in,
It's
everybody.
me.
Good to see you. How we doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm
I'm
decent.
good.
I'm decent. Welcome out to episode 23. Welcome back from Japan, Mark.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, thank you.
How was your
here.
time?
It was very good. Yeah, it was an amazing trip.
It looked great.
It was like 2 weeks. It got to that point in a vacation where you're like, I'm having a lovely time. This is amazing. I do want to go home.
Yeah,
now.
you it's like in the home.
I miss like my bed and like all that kind of stuff. But so it was just about the right length. But yeah, I was saying to the guys that I was on like a red eye flight. So like we flew out at like 1 a.m. Japan time, which was Thursday, and then I landed like 6 a.m. today. And I've had like a 4-hour sleep, so I should be fine. But I might be a bit sort of like, what?
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, all good.
It sounded amazing, though. It looked amazing. Every
Thank
little photo I saw of it. Great. Well, it's good to have you back,
It was-
bud.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Excited.
Well,
Excited to be back.
We have no Brett today.
Wow.
Brett, I didn't want to push a guest to come
Rip
in
Brett.
on Thanksgiving because I know that he couldn't do it. He told me weeks ahead of time.
yeah,
So.
it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving yesterday in the US. So I appreciate everyone for coming by on so close to Thanksgiving. We are going to go ahead and get started because we want to also kind of hard cut off before our usual end, maybe like 15 minutes beforehand. So, does anyone want to read the recap?
I can.
Didn't even see it.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Oh, there it is.
So I feel like,
Yeah, now
that,
you know what
yeah,
happens.
that is exactly what I'm. I'm like,
You don't read
oh.
it, you don't level up.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. And I need that level.
Simple
I
as
need
it.
it. Right. On our previous adventure, we set off from the Svepir in search of the thickets to the southwest. On the way, we came across the roots of the world tree leading to Alfheim. We learned that they were only shutting off the portal, only allowing elves to go inside. Under orders from Balder, upon gaining permission to enter, we came to find out that a darkness had been encroaching in the distant reaches of Alfheim. Someone or something has caused it to grow, and it was warping and altering dark elves whilst killing those of the light. We met with Balder and agreed to help. That was the last
That
recap
was the
in
last
this
recap.
thing.
Yep. I didn't want to interrupt you. You're doing it so well.
I was like, I'm gonna finish this motherfucker, and then I'm gonna be like, pretty sure I already know this one. But that's the
The other
last
one's
one
short.
I can
The
see in
last
the
one's short.
Discord.
Is that you don't see the other one?
I don't see the other one.
That's the one
Did-
you posted.
That's because
That's
the other one's
Joe,
in
you
Thank you,
the...
Britty.
so bad this time.
The other one's in the
Alright.
other Discord. That's why, because we had it ready.
Is
He
it
for...
posted that one
Right.
yesterday.
yesterday.
I might have reposted the same one
What?
Dude,
as
Oh,
episode
Joe.
22.
Brizzy.
Look,
I
look,
saw
dude.
that this morning and got so confused. It was just like, oh, fuck,
I didn't.
I'm not gonna
I
say
didn't,
anything.
I didn't read it.
Maybe
this morning
not
when I
gonna
saw it
say
posted.
maybe that whole last episode didn't really fucking happen.
I didn't even read it. I just saw that there was a recap.
Well, look,
Yeah,
now
I didn't
you
read
get a
it. I just
double
posted the
recap.
recap.
People in Twitch, they get a double recap. Maybe they've
Yep.
missed a few episodes. Maybe they're
It's
not
true.
caught up. It's a double
True.
recap.
This one's only
Last we left off, we were traveling through the shadowed roots of Alfheim in search of the darkness emitting from the northern end of the forest. On the journey there, we were accosted by the Notrevnen, an undead giant raven that steals the young of dark elves. After a grueling battle, we killed the creature and made camp by a small pond to rest up before continuing our venture.
Good times.
Okay, what were you doing? I just saw like you making a motion.
Resting.
eating
Right, okay.
bird.
Yeah, it was like a rest.
Oh, okay.
Mime.
Makes sense. That
For
makes sense.
you, Juno, you stayed back, helping out with the ceremony, helped
Smart.
guide some of the kids to try and find their way around. They needed the extra hands.
Yeah.
But Willoughby,
And you have 4 because you have
it's true.
gold wisdom has extra hands.
Willoughby had
More hands.
marked various trees for you along the way to find your way back. And with his immense knowledge of cartography and kind of natural adaptation of kind of forests and finding his way around, he made a pretty simplistic but informative means of transversing through the thickets of the lower end of Alfheim, which is usually quite maze-like, as most of it looks very similar. There's not much light protruding out of things except for the fauna that's laid around.
Nice.
So after they start their camp and the slowdown they had from the fight, that Juno, you were only a good few hours behind, that you managed to eventually get to them as they're settling in to rest for the night by this pond. You can see the kind of putrid pool near them of kind of a water that is a deep green. No creatures drinking from it. They're just kind of camping on the side. Willoughby, you're preparing to kind of take up your sentry's rest for the night. As you would see kind of Juno push through the branches and arrive into your small makeshift camp.
Is there like a giant corpse of the Not Ravnen?
We left it. We
No,
found
okay.
Not only
the
did you
place
not
without a
no.
corpse.
It dissipated.
Oh yeah,
Everything broke
we
down.
left anyway.
So it just looks like that they've rested for the day, basically. Or
It
like
looks like
they've
they're
just
settling
taken-
down to rest right now. They're about to
Okay.
rest.
We're all looking a little half dead, or most.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Everything hurts. It's terrible.
Don't drink any of that. Willoughby will say as you emerge out of
Just like emerge and
Pointing at
like
the
point to the
disgusting
gross pond.
I feel
That-
like it shouldn't have to be said, but
Look at you.
No, it doesn't have to be said. It wasn't my first thought to drink from the murky green, gross-looking pond, but thank you for the warning. You all look a little beaten up. Did something
you
happen?
missed a party. We found the thing. We found the Not Revenant. It found us.
Took care
Yeah,
of
do you
it.
know there really were like all the ravens and it had like little babies.
oh yeah, it was eating.
They're all
people.
dead.
You would have loved it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We missed it.
I'm sad to have missed it. I was at another type of party. It was very lovely. We had food.
Did
and I helped
anybody
the
get
kids.
swallowed by like a rib cage or anything?
Did anybody get
party?
swallowed by a rib cage, Joe?
No.
No, not that I can
Oh.
recall. No. Eldred and Lena, do you need extra help? You're looking pretty.
I'm going to just
You
lay down
okay?
with my pillow and
Yeah.
just-
Okay.
Get off.
I got to tell you, Juno, the little one, the like well, they were medium-sized ravens, like a dog. They fucking hurt, man, a lot. They like, it was painful, actually.
Okay.
Look, there's
Okay.
like a hole
Well,
right
I'm-
here in my shirt because it like pecked me right there. It was bad.
Well, I'm sorry to have not been here to help,
It
but
is
I
okay.
I did bring some extra food from the camp in
sure.
case you need it. I brought some fresh food and things, so. And I'll probably like kind of sit down with everyone and start handing out like I imagine I would have just brought some leftover like whatever was kind of left from the party or whatever, like fresh stuff that they were preparing, nice things. Maybe also like if I can see that Eldred and Lena are pretty beaten up, like maybe get sort of try and use like medicine to try and make it easier from them, like not that we need to. I know we're taking a rest, so it doesn't matter, but like for the RP, like
for the
helping
RP.
bandage wounds and kind of things like that. Prepare fresh water. Look, like how is because Willoughby, obviously I can't tell how Willoughby's looking. How does Draven look? Is like Draven fairly beaten up, or is he like fresh and
Wait, who didn't go down? Like, right?
I went down twice, I think.
I didn't.
okay?
It was 0.
Yeah.
We'll be
Did
able
I?
to
Draven-
No.
but Mark's not wrong. It'd be hard to, I think, tell Will's
Yeah.
physical health
Yeah.
from just looking at him.
Yeah.
No,
So-
Draven looks pretty beat up, but Draven actually
Okay.
will look like he's talking to himself a little bit as his wounds start healing.
Juno probably is like, I'll go help. No, okay, he's fine. It's just like, does that like, nope, he's dealing with it. I'll let him go. But yeah, and then I'll just kind of settle in so that.
Juno, do you
Hello.
know? Okay. A thing happened during the fight. My entire arm, and I don't know if it was the rest of me, definitely my arm because that's all that I saw. It started rotting in front of me. Like it was like I was dead. It was really disgusting, and I freaked out a little bit. It was pretty scary. And then, oh shit, I just forgot Brett's character's name.
Oh, Guru.
Guru. Oh my god, I was like, and then Guru was like, Guru, you can't have her or something. I don't. And then it went away. It was really fucking scary though, and I don't. It was bad. It was bad. It was like my whole entire arm.
Start calling him.
It
Guru.
looked kind of like
You're
I'm gonna
doing it
try
now.
to like.
You're doing it.
I'm gonna try to just change my arm to look like it, so I could like show Juno.
That's gross.
Just
Why?
kind of like this.
Yeah, that's horrible, Lena.
It's
I'm
bad,
sorry
it's
that
bad.
you
I
have to
just
deal with
kind
that.
of
That's
shake it off.
awful.
Yeah.
And
was
Juno will
bad.
be suitably grossed. Also, yeah, the idea of Brett just playing Gru from Despicable Me is
Yeah,
stuck in
you've
my
doomed
head.
him. You've
I
doomed
just
him.
got
because
stuck on the G.
You
I
took
was
out
like,
you took out one you and you doomed him. Now I just picture Gru.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
It's over.
He's currently asleep.
Okay. Oh, we got the thing too. I think we gave to Willoughby. Reg, you have the cloak thing. So, I don't know. It's a blanket. It's a cloak.
Look at it until we're done resting.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna just.
Well, I am fully
just here on the
rested, so
ground.
if you all want to get some sleep, I can help Willoughby on watch because I've been resting for a long time, so I'm fine. I can kind of help keep a lookout. You guys should rest. Yeah,
I
get
don't
some sleep.
Tell me if you want to not do it, Joe, but Guru did say he was going to identify the cloak for us last session.
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
identify.
Did he say that?
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure. If that's what was established last time, then we can have him look at it.
Okay. You'd have to.
We'll just have to call up Brett and ask him to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you call him right now?
You'd wake if you wake him. He'd kind of go, yes, all right.
Go, wake up.
Oh, yes, I could look at this. And then he looks over the cloak itself, casts identify, and I believe he does have identify. And
He's just bullshitting us. I can identify it.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's feather.
and because he also casts identify, you learn the hidden properties of this item as well. But I shall allow you to all see the cape of the Night Raven.
Whoa.
If I had a nickel for every cursed item we fucking collected,
Should come up on screen.
fucking burn.
There we
neat.
go.
If someone wants to read that,
That's
you can.
horrifying.
I'll read it since I'm the one
Yeah.
technically carrying it.
Oh shit!
Cape of the Night Raven. This cloak provides you the following abilities. Heartbeat Hunter. You can use your action to make a wisdom perception check to detect a creature's heartbeat within 40 feet of you. They must roll a Constitution stealth contested check. On failure, you can hear their heartbeat for the next minute or until they use the hide action and successfully make another contested check. Death Defiant. You're immune to disease and resistant to necrotic damage. Hell's Escape. Once per long rest, you can use the disengage action. You emit a silencing sphere centered on you as per the silence spell. This lasts until the end of your next turn.
And the hidden
Damn.
property is you have a +10 to all stealth checks in the realm of Helheim.
Whoa! Brizzy's like, moo, moo.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wicked.
That's cool.
What does it look like?
It looks like the feathers, kind of withered feathers that kind of almost like a cloak that you'd wear on the back. Black feathers. Some of them are kind of older and bristled, like they're a little bit rotten away. And some of the kind of the cartilage of the feather itself is almost almost bone-like as it's coming down. Very white.
Very, very Bloodborne vibes I get from that in my mind.
That's very cool. But
That's pretty good.
I mean, for me personally, I would not prefer to have a silent sphere around me.
Oh shit,
Since
that is a
most
good
of my-
point.
Most of my actions require words.
I'm assuming, is that silence ability like choice based, or is it the first time you take the disengage action that's gonna
Yeah, you
trigger
would
it?
choose when you use the disengage
Okay.
action, you can do it.
So you could just choose not
It's using it's your action,
to
so
to
it's not like you're
disengage.
casting a spell at the same time,
Yeah.
anyways. So there's
Well, it depends on who uses it. Because if the monk or the
Right.
rogue uses it, it's only a bonus action
That's
technically.
also true.
Right.
I don't
I
think
would-
I get use object on bonus actions.
I
I
mean-
only
I mean,
rogue does.
Can't you disengage?
No,
as
it
within 2
happens
points?
as
No,
part of the
it's-
disengage action.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we're
Oh,
talking
yeah, 'cause if I use-
above
Yeah,
board-
if you use
step.
your key step.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
above board player decision here. Feel like it goes to Juno just because again disengage on a bonus action and a wisdom character, so they're actually going to benefit from the perception wisdom check.
Mm.
Juno's also human and definitely not immune to disease or resistant to necrotic damage.
Although monk shit later though, right? You get
I get immune to disease
So
later
that
and
is the
stuff.
cool thing about attuned magic items is that they can be traded to people and moved around at a later
They
date,
can,
so
they
it's not
can.
a big deal. I think
Here's the
Willoughby
other
would
thing,
want it
though.
to be out of his hands no matter what. His first choice would be Eldred, since they were totally freaking obsessed with this raven to the point of sobbing and having a full
Absolutely.
breakdown on the field. But if they declined, he would just pass it on to the next person that was interested. He wants nothing to do with it.
Look, it's beautiful. And
It is
I
pretty
love
cool,
a
I
lot
do
of this,
like
but I feel like I would not get as good a use out of it. And hopefully, if any of us are going to hell, we're all going. So
I'll be honest, it's not really my style. It's just a pure aesthetics thing. I think it would Eldred or Elena perhaps more than me, but
I
it's
mean,
just
I
not my
do-
kind of vibe.
I sneak around a fair bit, and
Very
that
true.
is fine.
Just gonna put it on Lena.
Just
also,
wear the damn thing.
There you go.
oh, it smells.
Drape.
I'm gonna shake it out. It's a little stinky, actually.
Yes.
it'll
Just
air
wash it.
out.
Just wash the
I
viscera.
don't think I'm going to put it on right at this moment. Maybe I'll let it air out a little bit while we
Nah,
talk,
you'll
and then I
You
will.
get used to it.
It's
Does anyone know prestidigitate? I don't.
No, but I have a
no.
bar of
Someone showed
soap
me that
and
trick
some
one
time.
and I got a little jealous of
No,
it.
I'm going to. It's fine. I'm just going to like. air
Lena, give it here
I
while you're
don't.
resting, and I'll start trying to like
Oh,
brush it out and like
Heimdall.
clean it. Oh, I'm not resting. You're resting, so.
It's true.
Draven uses prestidigitation on.
Oh,
cloak.
someone does have it.
Oh, that's useful.
At last, it's been opened. The most powerful cantrip in the game.
I
has
love
been activated.
prestidigitation, man. I do it all the time on my other character. She makes everything taste like chocolate cake. She don't even tell anybody about it. Everything tastes like
powerful-
chocolate
powerful
24/7.
Draven's also gonna give Willoughby the Joy Killer rings.
Oh.
These may be more useful in your investigative purposes.
Don't have fingers.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure they.
Can you
feel
grow
like
some?
It like adjusts to the. Because remember, you pulled it off the finger and it like shrank. So
I mean, I could.
where do I put this?
He'll he'll try to put them on, and it'll probably just won't really be on like a finger. It'll be like kind of like just an offshoot branch on
Yeah,
his limb.
on his shoulder or
Yeah.
something like
It
that.
won't-
You
it
could
won't
put
look
them
right.
like as you know. You could put them in your head. You could put them anywhere, really.
Yeah, sure, I'll put those on.
Hmm. Well, now we know it'll grow back if it's cut off, which is good.
That's true. I appreciate this.
Hmm.
Honestly, I forgot they existed. If I'm being frank.
Yeah, no, me too. Actually, we haven't spoken to many people. Most monstrosities we come across seem to understand English. Common. So
A felon? What does a
Really
felon
the
have
only
to do with
benefit
this?
from the first one. The other fucking bullets on these rings are kind of fucking worthless to us. All right.
for now, until we go to see the Mother of Monsters, who also speaks Common, which
They're super useful.
You guys have ran into
Poor
two
Joe.
monstrosities. One of them didn't speak common.
which one? Which one was that?
Grendel didn't
Confirmation
speak
bias,
common,
Joe.
and then
We got the rings from Grendel.
exactly. And so you've only met one monstrosity since.
No takesies backsies. All right, you gotta loop back on getting these rings another time.
But mainly for like the advantage on like insight.
Oh yeah,
checks
yeah,
and,
yeah. No, I
you know,
definitely
people
did.
that,
I appreciate
that'll be helpful.
The DM's dilemma. Did I make this magic item too obscure, or did I make it overpowered?
Yeah.
There are only
Yeah.
two options.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Is it'll never come up until it comes up, and then you'll.
And it
regret
will be like, oh!
Like this
sure.
fighting a fish command.
Yeah.
Someday, dude.
Aquaman.
Just save it all.
Eldred has passed out.
Okay, we are going to go to sleep.
Okay.
Can I tune my thing while I sleep?
You have to tune it when you wake up.
Okay.
Willoughby would attune his while he is waiting around.
I'm joking. I don't snore.
The night resting by this pool. Each of you who are sleeping and resting would undergo a dream. Willoughby, you undergo something different. Kind of a self with purpose outside. I'll ask you as a group, who would like to go first?
and me.
Going last. 'Cause I'm experiencing something different. So I'll do my own thing after, I guess.
Lay it on me so I can make him. Then if I make a bad choice, I feel like it wasn't a mistake because I didn't know it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
and then
that's
we can
true.
all learn from your bad choice. So yeah, definitely you go first.
Draven, you fall asleep and then find yourself in a woodland. But it's not the woods that you're used to here in Midgard or in Alfheim. Reminds you further away, back home. At least in the kind of thicket part you are in right now, like a clearing. But then you see that those trees, the ones that you're familiar with back home, closer to oak and elm, only go down one path, and two more paths split off. The other two paths, one of them has trees which are taller pine. And another one, the trees start to become splintered, crackled and burned. Each three of these paths pulls you. The curiosity in yourself. One of them, you would hear the one that's closest to home. You hear a soft breeze and the whispers in the wind, but no words being said. The occasional cawing of a vulture. In the center path, the occasional howling of wolves. And on the right path, you're scratching. And then the kind of growls and grumbles of a bear. What do you want to do?
He looks towards the path of the bear and pauses. He leans to the wind, and there's a sense of comfort. But then he walks towards the howl.
The howl being the first of your choices, you begin walking down this woodland. And the further you go, the louder the howls. At first, it's the occasional, and then together in unison, one after the other. And as you're walking along the ground, you start to hear the clinking of a chain being tugged at. And you realize it's your foot that's chained, and you pull against it. Then your arms seem to be chained as well. And both feet, and as you try and tug away from it, you pull your arms forward and you just see fur starts growing down both arms. And you go to talk, but your mouth feels longer, snout-like. And when you look up, there on the distance, a reflection, almost like you're stood in water, looking over water. You see a reflection behind you of a massive wolf leaning down, its eyes gleaming red, looking down at you. It drops out of its mouth a long bone, which hits the ground. This is the bone of a large creature, maybe something like an elephant or a mammoth. One large, kind of thick bone that could have come from its leg. Or the chains dissipate. If you turn, the bone would be there.
I turn.
It's within grasp.
And I'll reach and take hold.
You feel as chains wrap around the bone and lock off. One of your three options for your boons is revealed. I'll read them here. They'll be displayed to you afterwards.
Cool.
Wolf, unchained. When you enter your form of dread, your mouth morphs into more of a snout. Your vampiric bite now deals 1d6, and when you kill a creature with a challenge rating of greater than 0, with your bite, you gain temporary hit points equal to twice your proficiency bonus. Also, you can perform this bite as a bonus action a number of times up until your proficiency bonus, and regain all uses on a long rest. It lasts until your form of dread ends. The second gift of Fenrir is Canine Senses. You permanently gain advantage to all perception checks that rely on smell or sight, and wisdom survival checks when hunting for food.
Oh shit. Oh, dude.
You do not need to make these decisions yet, by the way.
Okay. I'm gonna think about it then. And there's a wide grin that comes across Draven's face. I wondered if you were listening. Because if you are fabled to kill Odin, then I'm sure we can kill Zeus.
The trees in which you passed by and the road you walked by fill with trees again. There's now only 2 paths. One to your left, one to your right. Open up. One of them leading towards a stormy, burnt out woodland. And the other one, the quiet whispers again.
And was the burnt out woodland also like the direction of the bear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You've got the bear
And
and
the
the
quiet
vultures.
whispers remind me of home.
They do. Or at least closer to.
Closer to. We'll go towards the whispers, actually.
You walk through the familiar woodland this time. Pass by. And the woodland comes to a close. And soon after, you're walking beyond graves. One after the other. But all of them are open. Skeletons lie in each of the graves, but you don't recognize any of the bodies. Past the rot. But vultures land and pick down into the graves with their heads extending all the way in and coming out. You see one lean down into a grave far ahead of you. Pull out a small bone, almost like a wishbone. And it walks over towards you, hops almost the vulture, and just places it into your hand. And then you see the vulture go skeletal and fly into the sky. The gift of Thanatos is revealed. Death's Embrace. Your lay on hands now works on undead creatures, and you can spend 10 points from the pool of healing to give a creature resistance to necrotic damage. You can also store 1 disease or poison within yourself when extracting it from another creature using this feature. Only 1 disease or poison can be stored at a time, and you can use this feature, spending 5 points to make a melee attack roll to administer it to another creature. Also, your vampiric bite works on undead as you absorb essence from them instead of blood. The second feature is Fear of Death. If a creature is within 30 feet and frightened of you, you can use a bonus action to teleport within 5 feet of them. You can do this a number of times up until your proficiency bonus and regain all uses when you finish a long rest.
Jump scare. Dude.
Trees grow all around you.
Oh, you got a choice, my friend.
Only 1 more path remains.
Then I walk down, starting to question my choices. Not so much that feeling like they were bad, but realizing the possibilities ahead of him.
As you walk this path, you notice that the trees are more burnt out and cracked. A bear scratches against one of the trees. And then a portion of the tree gets splintered off. And it bites it. Begins walking towards you. And a lightning bolt crackles against the end of that branch in its mouth.
I did
And
do
you
that.
see a lightning forms a small stone end to this branch that drops a very small hammer in front of you. The bear's eyes littered with lightning energy itself. As thanks. And it journeys off into the woodlands.
I'll pick up the hammer.
It ripples of energy in your hand. And you feel the gift of Thor. Taste of Thunder. You gain the Thunderous Smite spell, and it does not account against the number of spells you have prepared. You can use it a number of times up into your proficiency bonus before expending spell slots, and you can target one additional enemy if they're within 10 feet of the original target. The additional target is pushed back 10 feet and takes half the thunder damage. So part of the same strike. Storm Conduit. When you enter your form of dread, the temporary hit points you gain are now rippling with lightning energy. The first creature to hit you with an attack takes lightning damage equal to your temporary hit points. Once this is triggered, it can be triggered again the next time you enter your form of dread. You now stand alone as the trees kind of wither away in a clearing.
Mm-hmm.
3 graves or holes open up around you. It is your choice which you drop the item into.
Mm-hmm.
But it need not be a choice for tonight if you do not want it.
I'm going to take some time to think about it. And this is why I'm glad I went first.
I'm glad you went first too. Thanks, buddy.
Damn, I look like a real
You
fucking
should
idiot
see-
right now. Taking dibs on last.
You should see your list of boons in the...
Hot damn. Well done, Joe. Well done. Dope. Excited. Terrified. How dare you give me so many choices?
Ugh, choice.
God, this is the real high CR of D&D. Analysis paralysis. Yeah, Gabe's gonna think about this. Well,
Yeah.
y'all have to go through this dilemma.
Yeah, that's fair. You have time now to think about it while we're all like, I don't know what to do.
Yep. Hell
would like
yeah,
to go
this
next?
is awesome.
I fell asleep first.
That's true.
Yeah, Eldred. Okay. Eldred, for you, there's no forest you dream of. No place you're familiar with. You stand on a hill of grass where cliffs of white are on either side of you. A sea of beautiful blue, both to the west and east of you. Behind you hear this massive gate churning, and a huge wall that almost stands close to the sky. From that path, high above this wall, this open gate, is a moon. But the moon looks so much closer than it has ever had before, emanating a blue light to just outside the gate. But inside, you see 2 halls. One hall is your traditional mead hall. Large, broad, filled with patrons moving in and out, bringing out drinking mugs and tankards and horns, collapsing against each other as they pass by. Rowdy music playing from inside. But the other hall much smaller, quieter. The doors open. And the beckoning you have for that is curiosity over anything else. Which direction would you like to go?
Always quiet.
Towards the one that's quiet, you say?
Yeah, always the quiet one.
You move on through. And it's an empty mead hall. If it was ever a mead hall before. And inside this one, it's far closer to a strategic building. You can see tables being pushed together. When you try and look at the maps, it looks almost just blurry, like you can't make them out entirely. And sat in a chair, resting there with a beard drawn down, reddish and black beard, with hair that's kind of fading back. Not the most handsome of the gods, but sitting there in kind of furs in a chair, cradling his one arm, sits Tyr. He looks to you. Why did you go back and save those people?
Because their souls belong here.
It showed considerable courage.
I've survived worse.
Perhaps you can do more. He places a small figure of his head on the table in front of him. Speak only my name. I shall grant you a gift, so that courage may come to you more often.
Okay. She's definitely just giving him a wary look.
Do you question if I'm actually here?
I question why you would have interest in me.
There is war brewing. And with war,
And I strike you as a warrior.
you strike me as someone who might be. The potential to be one. To be a warrior is not just to deliver death, but to save others from it.
By killing men.
Equally by saving them. Consider this a strategy. Perhaps you will prove me wrong, but perhaps I have an inkling that you might not.
Perhaps.
The choice is yours.
I take everything on a case-by-case basis.
As all great strategists do. There is no set route or answer.
No.
No. He leans back and just rests his arm against his chest.
What kind of help would you give me?
Not many who I invite here remain so long. Usually they are so quick to accept it. Or decline if they're arrogant.
They are probably soldiers by trade.
Often. At least fighters of some kind. What help would I offer you? Be it a tiny bit of power so that you may make decisions more often without the risk of mortality getting in your way. Be it the ability to see reason in times of danger.
You would give me the ability to see reason. So I would be seeing your reason.
I do not say that. My reason does not matter.
If you're giving it to me, how is it not yours?
For it is a gift. I'm not asking you to borrow it. I'm merely offering you the ability to be better. Consider me a hearty broth as a meal instead of the rations of old bread. It grants you more strength. Lasts a little longer.
Okay. Considered.
And he just leans back into his chair and closes his eyes. And the moment he does, you close your eyes. Forcefully. When you open them, he's gone. The gift of tear grants you the potential of getting these two abilities. A hand for strategy. The additional damage dealt by your touch of death ignores resistance to necrotic damage, and the enemy creature must make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC or become restrained by chains until the end of your next turn. Courage and Conquer. When a creature within 60 feet of you makes a saving throw against the frightened effect, you can use your reaction to give them advantage. Also, you are able to move twice the movement speed toward frightened creatures.
Okay.
Where does Eldred go now?
What do I see now?
You're left in the same hall. You're free to wander. You've got the...
There are no new exits in this room?
No, just the same. It's smaller than you might imagine Asgard to be. And perhaps not entirely real. But the other two options you had were to head back down the hill or into the uncomfortable loud hall.
I want to step to just outside the doorway of the loud hall and see if I can hear what people are talking about.
You would hear... Roll a perception check.
24.
24. You hear exactly the conversations that are happening. These are the conversations of drunks and people having celebratory kind of moments. There's discussion of fighting and achievements. People calling out others. Challenging them to boast their greatest boast. And you can hear further down in a quiet laughter and each of the jokes that almost ripples over all the other laughter, drowns them out. And you hear a voice call down, "And if each of you were to truly boast all of this, would you dare do so in front of the sons of Odin? Could you dare say that you are that strong to stand in front of Thor? And boast such claims of strength and valor? I bet not. In fact, I see it in each of your faces, and trust me, I can read them quite well." You're kind of muttering, and then everyone just starts laughing. And they raise their mugs. "To Heimdall!" And all drink and cheer. Conversations go back on with a little bit less arrogance in them, and people talking about their mistakes along with their successes.
I will slide in and just lean against the wall and watch.
As you come in, are you trying to be subtle?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
15.
You see, the hall is long and tiered up 3 times, almost like stairs as it goes up. And on the top tier, far at the end of the hall, in a raised seat, in the shape of a horn, sits tan dark skin with beautiful kind of white, almost like vein-like patterns of this paint on his face that come down from his eyes. His eyes are this kind of bright white, purpley kind of color, like almost like purple's in the midst of them. Heimdall sits there, wearing kind of an open shirt. Often people believe Balder to be the most comely of the gods, but it's a misconception. Heimdall is beyond beautiful. And he sits there in his chair, smiling and drinking from a long horn. And the moment you walk in and lean up, his eyes turn to you. He raises his horn and then runs a finger in the air. And you see a tankard on the table closest to you filled with ale. And just on the side of it, it types in, almost like written letters, like runes. It says the word, mead blood.
I was healed, right?
You were healed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he smirks, raises it to you. And then when he leans forward, he begins walking down the stairs, heading your way. He puts a finger into the drink, and it drains. And he just tastes the ale on the end of his finger.
That seemed a strange set of steps to drink it anyway.
I consume alcohol however I wish. It is easier if you can absorb it. You killed a creature, some renown, whilst drunker than any person in this hall.
I didn't get the killing blow.
No, but you didn't
I
die
was
either.
there.
There
No, I
is
didn't
an
die.
understatement. He smiles and kind of refills the ale, hands out to you. It won't give you meat blood. I can't affect you in that way here. Not that greatly, at least. I was impressed.
You were watching.
You see every head in the hall look over towards you and begin laughing, and then they all turn back and go to their conversations. I'm Heimdall.
Yeah.
Where there's alcohol, I have eyes. If Odin has ravens, I have livers.
He has what?
Livers. As if to say
Livers?
drinking. I see much in the realm of Midgard, even if my eyes are further into Mesogar at the moment. I saw quite an impressive display of prowess. For that, I think, may you have heard or not, and perhaps I'm not the greatest at speaking of this, but my fellow Aesir, and I've heard Vanir as well, are finding their favorites among the mortals, and as the one who spent the most time among them, I thought it is best to be forthright when you're picking the right ones, and I chose you. Mhm.
Okay.
So, as I know Tyr did the same. He puts a little head of himself into your palm, a little wooden carving. I'll follow suit. However, I do think that you'd probably prefer mine.
What is it?
You see. Do stay and enjoy the drinks if you like. As long as you don't wake. A dream can last for as long as you like, really. If you learn how to control them well enough. Not so easy to remember. I must get back to the others though, but maybe I'll see you around Midgard sometime.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe indeed. He takes a sip from his drink and wanders back towards his chair. The gift of Heimdall are the following. Horn of Ale. If you've consumed a tankard or horn of ale, your passive perception increases by your proficiency bonus for 1 hour. You can drink a number of horns equal to 2 times. So there's a drinking mechanic in my world where you can drink a number of horns equal to 2 times your constitution modifier before making rolls to see if you're intoxicated, instead of just up to your modifier. You also get always prepared. During a short rest, you can spend the time swapping out spells equal to your proficiency bonus. For example, if your proficiency bonus is a +3, you can choose to swap out 3 level 1 spells or a 3rd level spell or a 2 and a 1. That's Heimdall.
It.
Is there anywhere else to go from here?
Not inside the walls of Asgard, but the draw of the moon. The beauty of the outside. It's always an option.
I slink back. I leave.
The hill that heads down past to this great wall. And the wall doesn't seem to make much sense of how it's built. It almost hangs off of the cliff sides and falls into the water itself. You can almost see edges of it collapsing off. You realize your mind is manifesting this kind of almost interpretation of what the Wall of Asgard might be like, but you'd be able to walk your way down towards the open gate and out into the moonlight that shines beneath. There's no one waiting for you here. No god waiting outside. No figure. But there is a small piece of wood, carved exactly like the one of Tyr and Heimdall, but of a third face. One that at first might not be so recognizable, but if not for your belief in them. The moon shines its spotlight directly upon you. All else seems dark around you except for that spotlight. And you feel the magic, a strong magic emanating from this last head.
I sit with it. On my knees. Just sit.
It's innately magical. More so than the heads you were given before, which seem to be almost representations. This god is less of a show of metaphors and very much the real deal. Very much just pure magic. Very much Hecate. And the gift of Hecate. Of 3 minds. As a bonus action, or reaction to an ally being targeted by an attack or spell, you can transfer a concentration spell you have cast from one ally to another, as long as both allies are within 30 feet of you. You can do this a number of times up into your proficiency bonus and gain all uses back on a long rest. And Distant Moonlight, when you use your Reaper feature, the distance between the 2 targets can be a number of feet equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus. So currently your proficiency bonus is a 3, I believe. So instead of being 5 feet apart, that you can cast the same cantrip twice, it's 15 feet apart now.
Yeah, I just cradle this one next to my heart. Close my eyes. Look up my face towards the moon.
The moon just shines back on you. Doesn't let you escape its moonlight. Even if it moves across the sky during your dream, the light remains like a spotlight on you. Each of the heads feels vulnerable enough to crush. You need not make your choice tonight. Or whenever you wish, you can.
Crush in a good way or
Yeah, crushing almost like you're to take whatever's inside. Crush the one you like, I should say.
Yeah, she doesn't hesitate. She squishes this one right into her sternum.
The moment you do, the gift of Hecate flows through you and you gain that boon.
Nice, dude.
I'll give you the boon options anyway so you can read them, but you have the
Nice.
gift of Hecate. So you should see that on your list.
Okay.
I'd like to take a moment
Mhm.
and just realize we could have had drunk Eldred all the time, but that's okay. I weep.
Party
The
Eldred
possibility.
has
Yeah,
arrived.
party Eldred.
Eldred.
Let's go, you guys. Come on.
I believe you said, Tomato, that you were going to go last, so that would
Yeah,
leave
down to go
open
last.
to Lena.
Okay.
Your dream, different to the others, seems to be in a small home on the inside of it. You're sat at a table where 4 seats are. The table is almost shaped like a kind of elongated shield. It's almost like a diamond-shaped shield with kind of straightened ends. You're at one end, 2 chairs on the horizontal side, and one's straight ahead of you. In this home, you can see one person walks and starts taking down bowls and bringing out cutlery, soup spoons. Another's stirring a broth, leaning forward. You just see their backs right now. And a third is over by a fireplace, warming it. She's kind of hunched over and putting logs into this fire. You see it. There's a comfort in here. When she walks over towards the chair next to you and sits, she smiles and puts her hand out onto your hand. And you see the kindly, aged face with white in her hair mixed in with a blonde and kind of brown, almost like a kind of just a triplet of these colors. The kindly aged face of Frigga, mother of the gods. And she clasps your hand. So good to have you over for dinner. And turns and kind of waits and rests her arms on the table.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite.
Of course.
Of course.
My husband will likely bring this up himself, but you see the one stirring the broth now on the angle you're in, and he has one eye. I saw what you did back there, killing that thing. It is rare that my husband will admit to mistakes, but that creature is one of them. And you put it out of its misery. And, in the meanwhile, saved many more children from being put to its misery.
Yes. It was a sad thing. And I think the children had mostly made it, a ghost story, but it was still scary for them.
The thing about ghost stories is they're often true.
Hmm.
In this one, and like many of them, have happy ending. There are many children that will grow up now because you killed that thing. And that deserves some form of reward. If you do want it, she takes a spoon and puts it beside you. The spoon of Frigga seems to be kind of a traditional wooden one with a carving of an ivy all through the handle. And next time you eat, just carve that onto it.
Right.
The gift of Frigga. Prying eyes be damned. When you manifest your psychic blades, you can choose for the blade to be invisible. You can do this a number of times up into your proficiency bonus and gain all uses back on a short or long rest. And Mother's Protection. When you use your cunning action to take the dodge action, you become resistant to the next damage type you take until the start of your next turn. The one gathering spoons and kind of bowls down turns and you see the beautiful smile of Balder. Father, I'll lay the table for us. And he moves back, begins placing down other spoons in the bowls, puts a bowl in front of you. Elena. He sits down. I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Expect to see you either, nor your family.
In a lot of ways, we're not really seeing each other. It's strange how you describe dreams.
How are things?
Well, it's rare that we get to do this.
I bet.
But
am I here for a reason, I assume?
I assume it's because you've been on the thoughts of all of us. Briefly, in some regard, I imagine, but with me, I understand that taking upon the task that I set for you, it comes with its own responsibilities, and you've proven to be one who puts family first. Not sure if my gift would ever be as forthright as theirs, but I often find myself succeeding through blind luck. And if you are interested in it, perhaps I can share a little bit with you. To mimic my wonderful mother's sentiment, he takes a spoon, and his one has a simple carved smiley face. Simple. I wouldn't expect you to be able to draw anything greater. Not that you couldn't.
What that?
But
I can draw stuff. Like, I'm not,
well then, he
used to
takes it
draw
back.
stuff with my dot. No, I don't. It
And
was
it's a more
cute.
complicated, like full, like shoulders and head of just kind of
It was a
this
really.
character.
You should have been proud of it. It was a good smiley face.
No, I just thought the greater the challenge. Didn't know if you were up for it. Just carve that in. The smiley face would work regardless if you do mess it up.
Thanks. I think you would be a good parent, Not this good.
Well, fortunately, my fate does not have that in store. But the sentiment is lovely. He stands and walks over to him. Father, you sit down. I'll serve. And you see Odin rise and walk and sit at the end of the table like a kindly older man. You see his kind of grizzled white beard. He sits there with his eye patch on. And he pulls a blanket up over himself. Almost like he's kind of a very withered old man. So, they're not Ravnin, huh?
They're not Ravnin. Huh.
Mistake of mine. One that I've never let down, have I? My love. He looks to Frigga and then looks back to you.
Alden makes mistakes.
Of course I do. The gods never pretend not to. It's just that many believe we are incapable of them. However, mistake is sometimes too great or too small for us to be focused on, and in this regard, it could be regarded as both. Regardless, you dealt with my issue, and that deserves some reward.
Do you have a spoon for me too?
I assume that is the course of action. Frigga smiles to him. Yes.
It's a trend now, you can't break it.
I need not show you. Simply draw an eye. Does not matter if the eye is drawn in any particular way. I'll know. I eat your soup with that spoon. And I shall grant. Thank you.
What will you give me?
Mortals are so concerned about what they can get from the gods. Very few of them ever focus what they can give. But such is the trade of mortality.
What do you think I can give you then? I gave you a solution to the nut revenant.
Well,
Do you need something else?
I have many more problems that could be dealt with. Frigga looks to him. That is not the way of things. In dreams. And he looks to you. I'm the one who decides them. Perhaps I could change the way of things. He winks towards you. For now, just continue to do what it is you do. And if you are looking for more, greater knowledge, greater being and purpose, simply request. And you hear Balder step back. Come on, father. You know the way of dreams. One each. Nothing more. Of course, yes, I'm overextending. An eye.
And I.
The gift of Balder and the gift of Odin. The gift of Balder. Style before sense. When you make an ability check, you can expend a use of one of your psionic die to roll using your charisma ability modifier instead. If the chosen ability check is charisma based already, you can give yourself advantage on using this feature. So, for example, you can do a strength check with charisma.
Right on.
Charming under pressure. When you use your cunning action, you are now able to take the help action. In addition, when you use this to aid a friendly creature with attacking another creature, the hostile creature can be at a range of 5 times your proficiency bonus instead of 5 feet.
Oh shit.
The gift of Odin. Paranoia's shield. Invisible creatures do not have advantage to attack rolls against you from being invisible. Also, when you use your uncanny dodge feature, you are not required to see the enemy. And finally, Raven's Molt. When you take the cunning action to hide, you can use your shape changer feature as a free action. So you can transform.
Joe!
And I should give them to you.
I put the spoons in my pocket. And then I grab a different spoon from the table and I take a taste of the soup to see if it is good.
The moment you drink that soup, your eyes close. And you'd wake up. Finally, Willoughby. Whilst everyone's resting, and you're there with Juno, no gods come to visit you in your dreams, for you do not dream. But instead, at the tip of your finger, a new twig, or like your arm essentially, where fingers would be. A twig grows down and a single seed a white seed, like an acorn, a white acorn, grows off the tip of your stump.
Must be some weird thing with the ring.
Oh no.
This thing must have been cursed. Should have had Gru look at it.
You look at this and you realize it's the same coloration as the base of the roots of Yggdrasil. A white to brown bark as it goes up. The seed you'd see kind of growing of Yggdrasil would be kind of grows into a new branch, creates new secrecies through the world. This is the kind of branch that would be growing out for Nidhogger to bite through, but for you right now, the seed has grown from you. Unlike the others, your options are very much simpler. You can plant it. You can crush it. Or you can grow it inside of you.
Well, oh boy.
I can give you the options as well, by the way.
Just go. Just pick one.
Even without knowing the options, I don't think Willoughby would crush this thing
Mm-hmm.
because he is dying. And he knows he's dying, and the fact that this thing is still somehow growing out of him makes him think that somehow this could be his, like, a fix, or there's something weird going on. But I definitely don't think he would plant it because he knows that this is Yggdrasil doing some bullshit, and he wants to have words with them because he thinks they killed him. So I think, without even knowing the options, as a player,
That's
I would pick
fucking bold.
holding on to it and growing it within him because that gives him a card to play against Yggdrasil in the future.
Okay. Then you would be instantly granting yourself a boon.
Mm-hmm.
During that night, when you grow it, you put it inside of yourself. And you can feel that the seed unravels and opens into you. And some of the bark on your chest is replaced by white bark. You gain the following boons. Bear fruit. After finishing a long rest, you grow good breeze that lasts until the end of your next long rest. These take a bonus action to pick and consume. Seedling healing. When you are in chalice form, whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot, you are able to plant a seed in a 5-foot empty space within 50 feet of you. When an ally steps on the seed space, they heal for 1d4 plus your wisdom modifier. You can have up to 3 seeds on the ground at a time, and if you stack 3 seeds together on the same space, it becomes a 10-foot cube and heals for 3d6 plus your wisdom modifier instead. So unlike chalice, usually it's not just healing spells. Any spell tool you can, any spell slot tool you can grow like a little healing seed.
Okay.
Nice.
That's fucking
Cool shit.
cool.
And then, like, over 3 rounds, you could stack the same thing, and then it becomes the big heal.
Or if you
Because
know
it's
an
personal.
enemy's
That's
coming,
cool.
you could prep it as well.
I mean, I'm definitely in
Yeah,
chalice
yeah.
a lot more than a lot of other
Yeah.
spaces
That's
lately.
fucking
Cool.
cool.
Yeah,
So
good way to start healing.
good for me. Down for that.
Did you want me to show you the other options?
I don't
Oh.
mind because I mean you told me
I
the ones for
wanna know.
Adelward afterwards. It didn't really bother me to know what I was missing out
Oh,
on
that's
because
true.
Okay.
I like committing to the stuff before I know because then it feels more like I put the character first than
Okay.
It's cool.
just the mechanical.
Well, Rooted Sentry, as what you would have got off one of them. When you take a long rest, you can root your legs into the ground, allowing you to speak with plants within 300 feet of you during a rest. Dragon at the root. Your dragon constellation resembles Nidhogger. When you are in your dragon form, you're able to use your reaction to prevent a spell or magical effect from knocking you prone. In this form, if you roll a 1 or a natural 20 when attempting to maintain concentration, you gain 1 inspiration that lasts until the end of your next long rest.
Oh shit.
And Corruption of the World Tree is a decaying growth. When you kill an enemy with a challenge rating of greater than 0, you can use your reaction to heal for 1 of their hit dice, up to your proficiency bonus, regain all uses on a long rest. And your archery constellation makes you glow slightly more purple. When in archer form, you can split your arrow instead and target 2 different creatures, and the damage becomes necrotic and deals 1d4 plus your wisdom modifier. If hit, the creature is unable to regain hit points until the start of your next turn. So more of an aggressive one. So you've gone down the healing
I
road.
made the right choice. Those are all very cool,
They're
but
cool.
I definitely like the third one.
The healing road, yeah.
I think.
Fits. Very cool.
Juno.
Hello.
The gods don't visit you.
Nope.
You have focused on knowledge and what you know. And what you know is nothing. But is that the greatest philosophy of them all? For you, your path is separate. For you, yours is going to be a study of philosophers. A study on the teachings of philosophy. And the betterment of one's own mind, without the aid of others.
Yeah.
If you wish to pursue it, you can start to look into the studies of several philosophers. 3 currently available are Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato. Whether that be remembering essentially your teachings from them or anything you've read from them previously, or searching for new information. When you perform a short rest or during a long rest, during your kind of watch time, you can lower your passive perception to do this. You can kind of internally think about it or study one's own thoughts, or even write down thoughts and philosophies and kind of almost go into a study element and start to build towards your choice. But you and I can work on that together.
Cool. Yeah, I think the for Juno it would be more maybe thinking about their philosophies and their ideas,
And
but
applying it.
finding her own path through it, like analyzing it and taking pieces of that she thinks are relevant and putting it towards her own beliefs and her own philosophies, kind of learning from them, but shaping it into something new is how I always imagined it. And maybe if we encounter some other philosophers along the way, it might be also learning from
Getting
them,
some more
like
information from
whether
them.
we fight them or whether she speaks and spends time studying with them. It would be that kind of process of building her own thing is the kind of way I always saw it with Juno. So
That sounds
cool.
good. Cool.
Love it.
Willoughby and Juno, you'd also notice during the night, well, both of you roll a perception check for me.
Yes.
Oh, I'd fucking love to do that.
17. Look at this boy.
It might be with your 24 that you... Maybe it's a case of like, you've just grown the seed, you're trying to look around to see if anyone noticed. And that's why you're being so much more perceptive. But you notice the guru is currently gone. He's not in his bed. And his book is left there. And the only words written on it are, "I'll be back soon." Inked in.
If he says so.
But he's left his book open at the center page.
His book, that's like, I'll flick through some of the other pages before the final one. That's like his collection of like studies and things like that as well, right?
Yeah, it's a series of spells and magical study. And then also just kind of studying, the world. Anything he's written down, just notes and notes. But the 2 center pages
There's
seem
like
to be
8
blank.
pages about those apples that were dropping hidden over the last day.
Thick book.
Lots of Apple notes.
Yeah.
Juno would probably like start like flicking through it and reading it, like, okay, I'll look after this for him until he comes back for it. But
You just
like,
rummage through people's diaries.
well, he's left it here. It says I'll be back. I mean, we can't leave it here. Someone has
It
to
doesn't
look
say
after
I'll
it.
be back, and then an arrow to all the pages before it, and says,
Well,
please, for context.
Why, Willoughby, why does one write a book if one does not want others to read it? So wise.
Oh, give me a break.
She says that.
She just like, Juno's grinning
might
when she
drop.
says that. It's like, flick, 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 flick.
Probably for the best that he takes a step away, what with all the tension. We weren't here during that.
No, was there tension?
Right.
Oh,
No.
really?
He and Draven were saying things to each
Sort
other.
of.
Looked like they were going to kill each other. But
Oh.
they didn't, which was cool, because...
Yes, oh yes. I mean, yeah, okay, I can see that, but yes, probably a good idea. But well, yes, and things seem to have calmed down now. So I'll look after this, and if he comes back, I'll try and maybe get him to chill out a little, especially with these questions. He seemed like he asked a lot of questions, more than even me. Yeah, I figured.
He never stops, but I think it's very scary.
You think it's scary to
asking questions? I think he only has 2 settings.
Right. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. But yeah, and then I'll just hang out with Willoughby. We'll just chat. I'll read this book. Be nosy.
Yeah, I'll get the exact details of what Brett might have written down in it, but I imagine for the most part, it's just findings on his journeys here. Journeying all the way from Gaia. Some of it might be similar to you. I imagine a lot of it's nonsensical, as he says he writes pretty quickly and just kind of notes down everything.
That's mainly like crib notes.
Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, you start to find some more information. But yeah, I'll let you spend give me this. Give me a wisdom insight check, and you can kind of take in the information, how he's kind of applied it, and then next time I speak to him, you can see what you kind of learn from that.
Okay, I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna tomato this one. I'm gonna activate my brand new visage of the astral self by summoning golden wisdom to help me analyze this knowledge, because I get advantage on insight checks.
Yeah.
So I want that for this.
Join me.
25.
Hey.
I'll speak to Brett and I'll find you'd bring in a lot of information through that. You can kind of almost warp together all of his book and see what's located within his dusky tomb.
And I think I like the idea of like reading something like this, like somebody's collections of such a long journey and study of this other world and things like that. That's probably going to be part of building into Juno's philosophy stuff as well. Like maybe looking at the way the magic works, how Guru used magic, but also the magic he's encountered in all these other places, because Juno's not magical. Like, yes, golden wisdom is this I almost see it more psionic, like it's this projection of her mind. So like the idea of like learning more about magic and how it works and all these magical beasts and stuff, I like the idea of that building into it.
One thing I'll tell you with that, then you find out some more thing about the magic, you would notice some notes which indicate that his magic that he's been recently grasping is new to this realm. He never had it in Gaia.
Interesting.
And he's been stealing it.
Ooh.
He doesn't specify who, though.
Yeah.
Just that he steals the magic.
Okay, well, I'll probably tell Willoughby, like as the long rest is finishing, be like, this guru fella, I know that you sort of made a joke about me reading it, but we should keep an eye on him if he comes back to us. I don't think he was doing it to any of us, but his magic, it's not something he had before, and he mentions in a roundabout way he may have been borrowing it without permission.
Right. And you think whoever he's borrowing it from may come get us, or that you think he may choose to borrow magic from us.
Eventually. Maybe he didn't do it this time, but it could be something. Let's just keep an eye on it. I don't want to attribute ill intent to somebody that we've just met, but
at this point, if you're pulling this kind of stuff out of his journal, I may just leave out that you've read it at all. Because frankly, if I left behind any of my notes from back when I was more of a scholar and a human, and I found out that you read them, I'd kill you. I'd kill you.
Really?
I would assume that you were trying to steal my work and then plagiarize it at a later date. So I would leave most of that out.
I would never do that.
But were you,
I appreciate the wisdom. I will take that on board, but I would never. I'd love to read your works as a cartographer and explorer. Are you kidding? That sounds fascinating. Your knowledge.
It's out there.
Is it? I can find it. What name was it under? I want to see if I can get a hold of a copy or find your knowledge somewhere.
You'll figure it out one day.
Oh, a mystery. Very well. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yeah, Willoughby does definitely not give anyone his
his old name,
actual name.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and figure it out. Cool.
Okay. The night passes, and even though the sunlight doesn't pierce through the trees, you'd feel as each of your bodies wakes from a long rest and feels renewed, rejuvenated. Your wounds heal as godly magic pushes through the power of dreams. And you wake in this little glade.
I check my pockets to see if I have 3 spoons.
You have a single spoon. It's uncarved.
Okay.
I actually have to do a D20 roll.
Also, if Draven, just in case, if you
Fenrir.
You chose Fenrir, you decided to put the line up. Okay. Then yeah. You would awake to yourself feeling perhaps a little stronger. A little bit more hair.
I grow hair.
Raven, is your hair longer? No, I'm kidding.
Why are you suddenly more hairy now? Tell us everything.
Raven, your hair looks so different.
Draven,
It's
make a
like
stealth check to stop your
really
tail from
luscious.
wagging.
Lena, why do you have that spoon? Whose spoon is that? Tell us everything.
8.
She for sure would be like, you guys, I had a weird dream and I saw Frigga and Bolter and Odin. They were all having dinner together. It was soup. I didn't get to taste it. I don't know what kind of soup it was. But I was there anyway. They invited me and we had a whole chat about, I don't know, the gods are watching us, whatever. Anyway, Balter was like, oh, I can't believe I saw you already. Like, because we just saw him. And I think I got the spoon and I hold out the spoon and I'm supposed to put a symbol of one of them. I get to pick between them and then I'm going to put the symbol there.
Yes,
and
is this
pick
that
it.
boon shit that they were talking about?
Yeah, I think it was. Oh,
that was
shit. It's
really
a
easy.
spoon for boons. I didn't even think of it. Do you think it's a spoon because.
It's the boon spoon. The boon. the spoon. What was it?
It's so weird how dreams have like symbolism you don't even realize until you wake up and then you say it out loud to someone. Yeah, this is my boon spoon. I
Well,
think.
did everyone else get a boon spoon? A spoon?
Shit, did you get a spoon? Who got spoons?
I didn't get a spoon, but
Spoon.
yeah, I also
Oh yeah, the
had
dream.
communication with a couple
Did
of
you get the
assholes.
fork?
So,
No.
What
But
did
we're
you
you're
being
get?
telling
watched.
me that we had an
Hi,
audience of
douchebag.
multiple gods observing us as we fought the not creature, the raven thing.
Yeah. So yeah.
There
So
was just a
Frigga,
bunch of them watching us, and they
Frigga
all
and
showed
Odin-
up in your dreams.
Frigga was like, hey, thanks for taking care of the Nat Revenant that my husband fucked up with. And then Othin was like, how about that Nat Revenant, huh? And then I was like, then I think, you know how like dreams have rules sometimes, and you're like, oh, I want to change this, and then it doesn't change or whatever. You're just in the dream thing anyway. And so I was like, he's like, nobody ever asks what they can do for us. And I was like, what can I do for you? And he was gonna try to tell me something like, oh, I need a favor. And then Frigga was like, no way, shut your mouth. Then Balter was like, you can't break the rules like that. So
So
I
hold
don't-
up.
it was
So
weird.
you were able to speak to Odin and didn't at any point let him know that maybe it'd be cool to let us into Asgard and kind of cut out a lot of the middleman to get to.
Honestly, I was
kinda
sort
missed
of
that.
like, what kind of dream is this? What happens if I stab him right now? So no, I wasn't going
you
to
thought
ask
it
him
was a
like,
dream.
yeah,
I mean,
it was
might be-
pretty
you may have
awkward.
had that spoon all along, and this is just some kind
Shit.
of elaborate prank.
It was really awkward because when I sat down and I didn't see anyone's face, like I had my daggers out and I was ready to throw them. Thankfully, Frigga turned around and she was super nice because I would have started throwing, daggers at the gods and probably they wouldn't have liked that. Also, Balder's really nice. It would have been rude.
He's
Frigga
really
was nice too. Odin was even kind of nice, which I didn't like. Anyway, they're watching us all the time, like probably right now. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
And Eldred, you said you had a similar sort of dream or some such feelings or something?
Yeah, I spoke to some representation of Tyr and Heimdall,
Oh, shit.
and just felt the comfort of my goddess Agate. But
Hey.
no conversation there. But Tyr and Heimdall, yeah,
Wait a
Tyr
minute.
was very you have courage and you could be a warrior, and war sometimes is about saving lives, not
You do
just
have
killing
courage.
people,
She's
but-
right.
That sounds like him.
Also, it sounds like you. You are very courageous. You're very brave.
Sure, but I don't want that to translate into war. Killing
and
It's not
people.
that it's always that.
no, and Hecate also. You felt Hecate's presence as well in this dream, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
And this is Mark just checking. Hecate is a Mesogaian god, like not a Norse god, right? I wonder.
Yeah, she wasn't there, and I don't know if that's just because she's Mesogaian that she could not.
Yes, that's
Not
what I was
here.
trying to think. But
But
she
I
felt
felt
the
her.
presence. Draven, did you have something like this?
Thanatos, send me a message.
What did he say?
Tord
And
thanked me.
oh, did
That's always a good sign.
from Thrud, or is this something else? Or
Did he say like, thanks for
Hey.
being nice
What are
to
your
my
intentions
daughter?
with my daughter?
Oh shit!
None of that came up, no.
Did he call you son?
okay.
He did leave me a gift, though.
Oh yes.
Something that resembled his own hammer. It was interesting.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Wow.
Thanatos. So it wasn't just the Norse gods. If Thanatos reached out to you as well, then it is not just the Norse gods watching.
No voice, as Eldred said. I assume
Ah.
we are not in their world, so they cannot speak. They can simply look
Influence,
through
maybe.
the window.
Gives me the heebie-jeebies to think about everyone watching us all the time.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
shocked you
love
didn't
that.
realize they've been watching us always.
I know, I just don't like when, they confirm it.
Oh, you would prefer it if they didn't say?
I prefer if it was just an assumed thing, but never
unspoken.
confirmed.
Sure.
You know, like,
I'm going to
at
take
least
the.
one god has been watching each of you since we've met.
That's true. Also, like, I was leaving little thing. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I was like, hey, this one's dedicated to you, and then I would leave a little token.
You've been doing that?
Yeah, I mean, not all the time, only a couple, but one for Potter I left and one for Frigga. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take the coin out of my pocket. Eldred, like Hecate is your god, and she was there for you in your dream.
Yeah.
I could just angrily hold this coin and look at the spoon,
You fucking worthless piece of shit. Where were you?
and I'm gonna just hold them together. Really interesting, isn't it? How I have a coin from Loki, and I spent all the time. And do you know who was in my dream? Frigga, Othin, Balter, no Loki. And I'm just gonna throw the coin on the ground, and then I'm gonna feel bad, and I'll pick it back up. It's bullshit. It's fine.
Maybe he was all three.
You know what? He's probably busy. Also, the last time I saw him, he did say, "Why don't you pray to another god?" So it is all working out. Okay, I hope you are happy.
Oof.
Jeez.
It's fine.
You good?
Well,
I'm great. Wait, did you have a dream? No, you don't sleep. Willoughby.
No, I do not sleep. I
You
do
look
not
different.
rest.
What's the thing on? It's like white.
It's the ring.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Are you sick?
Yggdrasil's
okay?
pulling some
Is it
bullshit.
getting worse?
Is what it
Yggdrasil's
is.
pulling
All
some
right, I'll tell you
bullshit?
what. Yggdrasil's pulling some bullshit, trying to grow some kind of seed right out of my body. Not going to do anything with it. Going to hold on to it as a bargaining chip.
You're the new
Oh,
tree
shit.
of life. You're the new world tree.
Trying to desperately fling out seeds everywhere in its final death throes. I'm not going to let it do it. Not yet.
I knew someone like that.
Throwing out seeds,
Yeah.
like a gardener.
No.
I'm joking. I didn't think he meant the
I might try
gardener.
to
la 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 la.
Wait,
Well-
so did you see Yggdrasil? Did it talk to you? Was it like,
No,
Willoughby,
I mean
have a-"
literally, and Willoughby's gonna pull his chest open. There is a seed that started growing. That does not happen normally.
It is weird.
Can I,
Looks
Joe? Can
exactly
I do
like the base of Yggdrasil? I truly think they're trying to do it again.
Like make
yeah.
you Yggdrasil?
What did I just... I wasn't kidding when I said that.
I thought you were kind of. I thought you were being a little sarcastic. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I did hear it though. Like it's not like I wasn't paying attention. I just thought you were like joking.
I'm
a
just
little.
curious if it's every Kavistria that has one of these, because boy, oh boy, if they just picked me, I do not know what they're thinking. I hate their
I
guts.
doubt it. The last one we killed didn't remember.
Oh, true.
What are you gonna
Sorry.
ask, Mark?
I was gonna say, like, could I do like a check or something like that? Like, because having read up a little bit about this land and Yggdrasil and things like that, like, why? Yeah, like, would it like? Do I think that Draven's right in that this is like an attempt to like save itself, or like, do I think that like I don't know, like, is there any sort of like thing that I can make to? Obviously, maybe that's just a player theory. Like, I'm just trying to think of like,
roll
is
a
there any
nature check.
knowledge or something? Sure. Oh, +1. Yep. Nope. 8.
Well,
Down to your
It
interpretation.
wasn't a natural one.
There's no
Yeah.
information
Or-
in your research, at least.
Yeah,
would
no, it's odd.
necessarily suggest
yeah.
it.
For context, there is a bit of nonchalantness to Willoughby's handling of this right now because so much of this hinges on what's going to happen when we're finally able to ask those questions regarding like the Norns and stuff.
Well, that's
'Cause
true.
He has his own questions he needs to ask regarding the world tree.
Willoughby, does it hurt? Like, do you feel it?
Uh,
Are you okay?
no, it's just kind of sitting there. I don't know. It didn't. It just kind of appeared more so than anything. I thought
It
about
grew.
destroying it out of just
Okay,
vicious spite,
sure.
but I figured, Yggdrasil talks to a lot of the other Kavistria from what I've heard. Never had a word with me though. Figured this might help us move that along a little bit.
Sometimes a parent doesn't speak if they don't think a child needs help.
Okay, well, I would like a fucking word with Yggdrasil, alright, is what I'm saying.
And
If
that is
anybody is
absolutely your
listening,
right.
I've
Willoughby
needed
would
quite a
like
bit of
a
help for
word.
about 400 years or so, is what I'm saying.
Far wiser to keep hold of a gift, even if it is unwanted, than to destroy it, I think. And the rest of you are happy with these boons, these choices that you have been given?
Oh,
Do
I
you
didn't
feel...
pick. I still have to pick.
you have
think
to
about
choose.
things. I don't really like to choose things in the moment. I prefer to think about it. They were all super nice and they said, no, don't worry, just to draw the symbol on the spoon when you're ready to eat.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't like commitment, really.
Boy, that's a lot of pressure, though.
I know. It's a lot of
You
pressure.
think they're all, like, watching right now?
Did not feel like a lot of pressure to me. It felt very obvious.
Well, yours was from a goddess that you have devoted yourself to, right? You have made
Yeah.
this conscious choice to follow, so it would absolutely make sense, especially if Hecate it seems to recognize you. I imagine that feels nice in a way.
Yeah.
Do you feel good?
Really
Good.
nice.
Good.
That
Don't know
is
why the
sweet.
other two even tried.
Boy, oh
I
boy.
think because they thought you were worth it and they thought, well, this is somebody impressive.
I don't know why they thought I would be into the things that they were into. Like, they're not my vibe.
Accepting a boon does not
I-
mean you
yeah.
slay yourself.
I don't know that they necessarily thought that you would vibe with them so much as they were like, hey, we've noticed you and you did something pretty amazing. We would like to have a chat and maybe offer you something in return for that.
Boons are not a contract.
Yeah, you have
didn't.
made
They
an
are a
impact.
gift.
I didn't trust it. Also, one of the things that Tyr said was he would give me, like, better reasoning or something. And I'm like, if this is a gift from you to give me better reasoning, like, wouldn't it stand to reason that my better reasoning is just more of his reasoning?
Also,
It
that
would-
feels a bit
would-
like
Mm.
a negative thing to say to
Yes.
someone as you're trying to give them a compliment. Like, let's
Yeah.
just
Backhanded
Dunk all
compliments.
these gods that just offered us boons. Let's just fucking take them down. That's what I like to hear.
If someone says, here's a better way to chop down a tree, and they give you a sharper axe,
yeah, I
it's
would
not
say
that they're saying
that
you're
way.
bad with an axe. They're
That's
just
fair.
giving you a sharper one. These gods
No.
asked for nothing
Draven,
back.
did you find your choice easy?
I did.
Oh,
I've been asking for them since I walked into this place. Actually,
and you felt good?
For
I'm
who?
glad.
Fenrir.
Oh, that makes
Oh.
sense.
Fenrir. That was
With the, our
that
other
was the
dream
wolf
world.
form. Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
They
that
are
is good.
changed
Are you a werewolf
and
now?
lost.
Are you a werewolf now?
Well, we'll just
Wow.
let that
Do you want to
silence
howl?
hang in the air for a little bit.
Well,
Well, I am happy for you if you are happy about it. And you as
Yeah.
well, Eldred.
There's a fear
Right.
of the gods that all of you, maybe not a fear, a reservation that I still don't entirely understand.
I don't really
Not
trust
trusting
anybody.
the gods?
They're kind of
don't
shitty
understand?
sometimes.
Correct.
Sorry.
I don't understand that.
Not a reservation for me as such as a disinterest.
Sorry, Fenrir is sneezing in the back. Oh, what was that?
I think
Look at that tail.
um,
That's a happy Fenrir.
if you have any experience with Loki, you know that gods are often full of shit and kind of fickle, and they change their mind a lot, and you can't really trust them. So
Isn't Loki
you
also the
see
trickster
them
god?
all party
yeah, but I mean,
at
like,
least one time, and it kind of changes your perception of most of them.
yeah. Also, that's pretty. That it was a really weird dream. Like, they were like both are so like nice. Everybody knows it, right? And plus, we
Everyone
actually
knows.
just saw him the other day, and he was super nice. But like, and you expect Frigg to be really nice as well. But like, Odin was like, "Oh, hey, let's have dinner. Thanks for fixing my problem. Also, I have other stuff. Oh shit, I'm getting yelled at by my wife and my son." Like, it was a bit weird to sit as
But-
family.
Would it not be expected that if you are someone who caught his attention, he would show you some sort of favor? It's not
Oh,
about
yeah,
who
no.
you see that matters.
I'm not really
He'd be like,
surprised.
"What's up, idiot?"
Yeah, it wasn't that. That was. I think it was more like. Sorry. He sounds like a shit a lot, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, Odin, the Allfather, you have to be very. He's gonna do
Well,
some shit if you fuck with him or whatever." And then he was just like making a soup. It was a bit weird. I mean, I don't know. I
You
really
just
like soup.
described
That was
how
great.
You are.
Yeah, no, it was more of like a dissonance of.
You
I
have
have
been
spent-
taught something and
And not even
everyone
taught-
believes something.
It is more like, again, if you spend a lot of time praying to working for Loki, you get used to thinking of the gods in a certain way. And that is who he is, and it is fine, right? You accept that he is what he is, and that is what he will be, right? That is all any of us are or can be. But like, I don't think I really thought of like, oh, here's a totally domestic setting where I would expect to see Odin and Balder and Frigga just like making a soup.
But
Also, I didn't
Odin,
even get to taste the soup. I'm still pissed.
Odin is a father. We are the gods, much like people, are multifaceted
I think
things,
that
right?
is what-
He is. That is what you saw.
I am
you saw the
uncomfortable
facet.
with,
Yeah,
right?
gods.
Because I have spent a lot of time, easily the last 8 years and 3 months and 12 days, being very angry at the gods.
course.
Very, very angry at the gods. And sorry, I don't really want to at this moment reassess how I feel because I have spent
But
a lot
Lena-
of time with that anger and that resentment, and it is going to be a little weird for me to have to reassess that and
Well,
adjust to it.
if I may, you might not necessarily even need to. Those feelings that you have, the things that you have been told about Odin, can also be true at the same time as them being this
I know we
father,
are all
old, elderly figure.
multifaceted.
But don't feel that you have to reassess those feelings. You are right to be angry. You are right to have those feelings. That is you. You shouldn't deny them. It is about accepting the truth that things are not always what they appear, that they are not always what we believe, but that also does not make them not true, if you understand what
No,
I mean.
I know. I think it is just going to take me a little bit. You know, he also said something
It'll take
like,
time.
"Oh, sometimes we make a shit. What did he say? Like a big mistake or a little mistake, and we don't. I don't know. Something about like sometimes I try to pay attention and don't really do a good job. Sorry if I got that wrong. I'm not going to keep looking up when I do that. I don't even know if he's in the sky or watching now.
They're always watching.
They're
I'll
always
look
watching.
around
At this
for
point, I
ravens.
assume they're always watching.
Well, perception check.
Whether they are looking or listening. it doesn't change it.
I
No
know.
ravens.
I think that is the thing, right?
Oh.
It doesn't. I think it doesn't change it.
Guru?
Oh shit!
He left.
He was sleeping.
Scampered
was.
off into the woods or something.
I think whilst Willoughby was dealing with his seed thing and I was meditating, he made a little. He's left.
Juno.
But he's left a message.
You missed it. Was a crazy fight.
Yeah. I wanted
you know
more
what he
information
told
from
us?
him.
Eldred had.
What information would you like?
Eldred had a bit of trouble in the fight. Okay.
knows everything about him.
Yeah, so he has been using the power of hell. He invokes the power of hell during
That's
the
how he
fight.
fixed my arm. He was like, "She's not for you. It's me," or some shit like that. And then my arm. went
Yeah,
back to
no.
normal.
Willoughby.
Then after-
Willoughby seems very upset that I read Guru's book.
Wait,
while-
you have his book?
Downright
Yeah, he left.
disrespectful. All right,
He
is
left
what
his.
it is.
It's not disrespect. You don't
It's
write a
just
book and
downright
not want people to
disrespectful.
read it.
That's his private
You know,
notes
that's
for his
true.
academic ventures. That's
I
will
downright
take-
disrespectful.
I'm not
go
going
through
to
those.
write it. I'm not going to write a book. I just wanted to read it.
Yeah, you know what?
Everything you take in your head is something that you can output when you choose to put your hand to quill. And that's
I just don't write stuff down that I
understand?
don't want other people to know. I would just assume that if someone picks it up, they're going to read it. You can't look at words and not automatically read them. You aren't like, don't. I'm
You know
not
how many
reading
hack, fraud, cartographers ripped off my shit?
No,
Willoughby, I
it
feel
doesn't.
you are
That's
hundreds.
projecting an immense amount of
Half the
frustration.
mouse you see from
plagiarize?
Midgard have my crap in them, despite the fact they don't credit me anywhere.
Did you do like?
And you are
did
right
do,
to
like,
be angry about that.
like a special symbol or something, and then you noticed other people doing it, and they were ripping you off? Like, how did you know?
He
That's
just
really
knows.
shitty. I'm
He
sorry.
can tell.
You can tell a mile away.
But if your
beside-
maps are accurate, wouldn't they be the same if they're accurate?
Which is why no one should have ever made maps after I made maps.
Oh, so
But these
Unless
them
the
wrong
gods
on
have a
purpose.
battle that splits the goddamn Earth in two, no one should have made another map, and yet they
Say
did.
that.
like a new
Well-
town rises up. They're like, sorry, map's are already done.
Maps are already done.
Wait, hold on. You have his book. You read it.
Yes, he left a message to say that
okay.
he would be back one day, that he would return. I took the
Okay.
book on to look after
One
it and also read it because I was very interested. And yes, having read through it over during the evening, it was clear that Guru did not possess much of the magic that he had before he came here. And in it, there's many references and subtle hints towards that they were stealing this magic. And it's not always clear from who. It sounds like they were able to steal or borrow or take magic from maybe multiple things or sources or gods or maybe even the realms themselves. I know that there are some people in Mesogaya who use magic who they draw their magic from land or from places, and it could be that maybe Guru was that is speculation purely on my behalf.
I wish you never told us.
What? It's good to know
Why?
things. Then you have more information. You can act with, more knowledge and make a better choice.
Certainly something to question should we cross paths again. And I hold up the book. I have this, and I've he will need it back at some point, I'm sure. I'll put
Yeah,
it
he
in my
did the
little
thing with the
knapsack.
sword and the book together, so he will. It's weird he left it.
I don't think I hate to come back to this again, but if he was very concerned about that book being public, I think he would have ripped. If you said he left a note, he would have just ripped that page out and left it rather than the whole book.
But did he
Right.
not spend almost an hour haggling for apples?
He was a
Felt
little
like
strange.
longer than an hour. I have to be
Bit of a
honest.
scatterbrain, that one.
You think he went back to the apples?
Shit! What if that's where he is right now? He's like, I was just hungry. Everybody, sorry. We go back. He's like,
I did
there.
not get that
This is-
impression from the
He
note.
knows where we're going, and it's the giant, ever-expanding orb of darkness.
That's true.
Yeah.
And potential death.
And death.
Okay.
Let's just assume that perhaps he left it to a fellow scholar in safekeeping. And that's why it's okay that I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, the amount of posturing you had to do to get there.
I just like.
I think
yeah,
it is okay
sure.
that you looked. I get it. What else?
Well,
were you
luckily,
going to do?
I am not looking for permission nor forgiveness. I am very happy that I read the book. I feel very pleased, and I have expanded my knowledge.
The scholar in Willoughby has judged you so harshly.
Shall we move towards the impending doom or whatever?
I would like to. I don't know if could I have done this while we were talking, but I do want to attune to the thing before we go.
Yeah, you could have done it whilst you're talking. That's fine.
Okay. I'm just
Let's do
holding
that
it
with-
really tightly. And
Yes.
anyway, and then my dream was.
Just wrapped up in it like a grandma. Yeah, well, I'm happy to just crack on. So
All right.
Okay. Well, setting out of the campsite, you'd be able to kind of move your way back onto the path you were leading, heading towards this darkness. Heading northward out of where you've left off. You are probably close to just over halfway towards it. And you'd be able to walk for a good few hours before you'd ever come into sight of anything recognizably kind of civilization. And it's as you close in on the area that is closest to Underroot. As you're moving across this kind of almost like makeshift road now, and that's what I mean by civilization, just a pathway that's been kind of carved out. The ground itself has been kind of toiled so that people would know which way to go to get towards Underroot. You'd see, kind of slithering around one of the trees nearby, is a long snake head. And then it leans up and bites one of the leaves. The difference between this snake head is it's long, about like 7 feet long, and then furry all the way down, with almost like tiger stripes going along it. And then you see the rest of this creature's body kind of crawl around. And it's almost got the body of almost like a Komodo dragon, but like a furry, like very straight to the ground, flattened. And it leans its head up, eating from the branches. And then you'd see kind of coming from around the corner, a light elf steps around and goes, Luga, what are you doing? And looks across to all of you, doesn't even really realize you were there at first. And kind of panics, reaches around, kind of takes that
I
dagger.
wave a little. Hello.
Hello? We're
It's
not here
okay.
to hurt you.
And places the dagger back down.
Is that your friend? Points at furry snake thing.
She runs her hand down it. You can see that she's got, unlike the light elves you saw before, this one's coloration is almost pure orange all the way down the wings. Starting off with kind of an orange, very much like the fruit, all the way down to kind of more of a almost a very much a lighter one, almost like kind of cantaloupe orange as it fades down. And that kind of same coloration fades across her skin. She runs her hand down Luger, and I'm just backtracking with him to see if we saw any survivors.
Oh, survivors from.
Underroot. We think we got most people out of there before the darkness could get close.
Oh, how far are we from the darkness now?
I mean, minutes? If you
Oh shit. Okay.
hurry upon the pace.
Did anyone get hurt by it?
So word didn't spread out. Underroot is
no.
gone.
All of it is gone?
It's gone. We had warning.
We thought that it moved really slowly. The darkness.
It's not the darkness itself necessarily. It's the fact that the things that came out of it, the dark elves.
The things came out of it?
The dark elves. They attacked us en masse.
was there anything different about these dark elves than the ones you've seen before?
They had carapaces. They're more
Hmm.
bug-like than before. Or
Were they able to speak?
bark-like. They did, but it was mostly just mutterings of down with the light elves, down with the order. Alfheim would be theirs. That not a chance. We managed to get most of the civilians out, though. I'm just scanning to make sure that we didn't miss anyone that was hiding.
Can you point us towards any of these dark elves that may be out of this
They all
sphere?
flew back in.
They all flew
It flew back in.
It's
Okay.
about 40 minutes if you go that way, and she points. We didn't see them come
Thank
out.
you.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. What is your name?
I'm Verisil.
Persil. It's good to meet you. I'm Elena.
Nice to meet you too as well.
Verisil, apart from the dark elves flying out, have you noticed anything else that you could tell us about this darkness, about the effects it may have on creatures, on the land? Any information you can have at all. We're trying to help, and the more information and knowledge we have, that will make our job a lot easier.
None of us has been inside. They dragged some others inside. And
They
if-
take light elves. They
took
capture
some.
you.
they took
Light
some.
and dark, or they just took.
Just light. We didn't have dark elves living among us. We
Okay.
Hmm.
lived above the trees. They don't take kindly to the light.
Hmm.
Our scouts who had been watching it gave us word to evacuate. We flew as many out as we could. And those who couldn't fly had to climb down and scattered.
Hmm.
But for the most part, most of us got out, but I was one of the last to escape, and they came in, climbed our tree, and 30 of them.
Into the light. That is unusual for them. Yes, to come into
Yes.
the light.
Oh,
Hmm.
they fight worse in it.
I see.
Blinds them.
Hmm.
Did they seem blinded to you when they came out to fight you?
Maybe partially. Our soldiers fought against them. A couple of them died. Of them.
Hmm.
But
So they were less. You felt that they were hindered by the light that they were in.
potentially, but it was. They're usually smarter. In skirmishes that have happened between light elves and dark elves, there's no throwaway deaths, but they was Zed like. They attacked us with. I don't know how to describe it. Some sort of revitalized vigor.
Did they seem fully in control of themselves? Did it seem that they were maybe under orders or acting against their wishes in any way? If you can remember, of course. I don't imagine that is something difficult to think of.
They didn't say anything like that.
Hmm.
They didn't listen to reason. We tried to. Some surrendered, and they were still captured. And guards were still killed.
Is there anything? Oh, go on, Lena, please.
Do you happen to have you heard anything about how this all started? Because we have heard various rumors, but this is the closest we have gotten to anything.
We know that it was a dark elf that did it,
You know for certain?
for certain.
How do you know? If you don't mind me asking, how? Because we just heard that.
Well, the words
Was
came
maybe-
out of that. There was a dark elf had created this magic. This is what we were told from those who lived down below the roots that still spoke with us. But they're gone. I mean, I suppose you can't say for certain, but we trusted
They're
their
gone
word.
because they evacuated as well.
Yeah, we didn't find them. They lived much closer
These were
to where
light
the-
elves or
Dark
dark
elves.
elves?
We still
Dark
have
elves.
communication with dark elves. Though our
So dark elves confirmed that one of their own created this.
yes. We asked for word when we saw it appear. And we said what caused it. They said a dark elf named Draven.
Dervand.
We don't know.
Is it solid? Like when you look into it, or do you hear
You can't see
anything?
into
Or
it. I've not come that close though. Only
sure,
as
I
close
don't
as I
blame
was.
you.
from atop
And
the
it was
branches.
only dark elves that came out, no light elves whatsoever.
It's the swarm of dark elves. We've seen some creatures come out of it. We've caught some. Always tougher.
We saw a
and
thing.
skin,
We saw that
yeah,
in
it
the-
looked-
Yes.
sharper
Yes,
teeth.
we
that
saw
sort of
that
thing,
too.
Yeah.
And that is similar to what happened to the dark elves you saw come out. Like they looked hardened like that too.
their skin was armored, but kind of almost tree-like, almost bark-like, and then
Seems good to know.
they could fly.
And they don't.
They could not fly before?
Our wings are mostly for show. We lost our ability to fly when Frey punished us all those years ago. Only our young can fly.
Right, only the children. Okay.
But these ones could fly again. We thought we were seeing things.
We have heard a rumor that the light elves who go into the darkness, whether by choice or not, just to die, and the dark elves are able to come out and then they are changed. So you said you didn't see any light elves come out, right? That's all.
No light elves came out.
Why would they be bringing them in?
I know we don't. I don't want to spend too much time with questions, and forgive me if this is something we've been told or know and I've forgotten. You said that Frey took away the elves' ability to fly. Was that a punishment? Was that why? Why was that?
And it goes all the way back, and she starts kind of playing with Luga. Ancestors of ours that caused it, but we were one people once, closer to dark elves. Capable of flight. We lived below the trees, but lived in canopies and barely struggled. And Frey, when he was given our realm, when he was young, after the war, he was allowed to oversee us all. And he did not really know, he didn't rule over us like a god that we expected him to. He ruled over us like a friend. And so, when we discovered a fruit that only grew when he was given our realm, we named it the sun fruit. And he tried it. He was the first to try it. It was the greatest thing he had ever eaten. So every time he came back, elves would do their best to win his favor, and he'd grant them blessings in return, and favor, and celebrate with them. So, forever we had the best flyers go up there, and sunfruit only grew at the tops of the trees. At this point, we barely flew up there ourselves. And then one day, an elf named Kurith decided to try sunfruit themselves. And his body changed. His body became more vibrant, full of color. And he could look upon the sun without his eyes strained, without feeling dizzy. And so he gathered others to do the same, hundreds. And the next time Frey arrived, there was no fruit to be given. All of it had been picked and consumed. Others were annoyed at them, but he was so angered by it, said that maybe he had spent too long being their friend and not enough time being their god. He was frustrated, embarrassed, so he clipped our wings, if you will.
Everybody swings, even those
He
who
stopped us.
disagreed.
All of us. He said we could all be tempted by it. The only ones he didn't punish, he said, the young, who had done nothing but innocence. But when you hit a
That's
certain
pretty
age,
harsh.
you can no longer fly.
To prevent you from obtaining this sun fruit being
Yes,
the intent.
to stop us to be less gluttonous, but the dark elves refused to continue eating, but from that point onwards, we both began competing for Frey's favor. The dark elves needed his favor for giving them protection down beneath the trees, and with no wings, they were much more susceptible to the dangers. And the light elves, we wanted to stay in his grace because we lived among the tops of the trees now, a reminder of our, I guess, disobedience.
Where's the sun? Is there a lot of sun fruit now? If no one is eating it, they're just giving it to Frey?
fight over it constantly. It's the cause of most of our fights.
Where does it grow? Like all
To the
over,
tops of the
only
trees.
like all of the tops of the trees. Sorry,
All
though.
the
I
tops
mean
of the
like
trees.
all. Okay.
We have an advantage as light elves, because we live among them. But the dark elves are very good climbers nowadays, and in truth, we fight because without Frey's favor now, it can cause devastation. For us light elves, we need food to grow atop the trees as well. And sometimes he grants us greater summers and less harsh winters.
The darkness. How tall is it? Like, does it go all the way to the top of the trees? Above the top of the trees? Is
No,
it
it's shorter
just
than that. Halfway, maybe less.
halfway up? Okay. I'm sorry about your village or settlement.
This has been incredibly useful. Thank you so much for telling us this.
Well, but I'm confused what you're doing here. You're going in?
We're going to try to stop it, to fix it.
We want to help all of the elves if we can. But
Well, Frey's blessing upon you then. And good luck in there.
Thank you.
thank you. Unless
See
anyone
any
else.
survivors? Just tell them to head west.
Head west.
We will do so.
We're gathering
What
near
is she-
Festival.
Festival? What did she
Festival.
say that the guy's name was?
The one that started it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kurith.
Dervand was the one with the sphere,
Oh,
right?
oh,
and then
that one,
Kulrith
yes.
was the
Yeah,
and then
sorry.
Kulrith was the one who ate the sun fruit.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dervand
Okay.
is the
got it.
dark elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just look at the rest of the party if there's anything they want to talk about or ask. Like,
Good luck. Go on. And then kind of calls over to this creature, and you see it kind of scowl on the ground, much faster than it looks like it should be, and its head almost pulls back a little bit as it does. But they kind of scatter off into the woodlands looking for any survivors.
You know, my first instinct when she said that they could fly and that they were tougher was that maybe it was this Dervent or whatever was trying to do something to, you know, help the Dark Elves, right? Make them stronger
Yes.
than the ability to fly so they could get the sun fruit their own selves, and it went wrong. But then that's why I asked why it was so tall, because I thought, well, what if they were just trying to like drown it all out, but it doesn't go to the tops?
But being able to fly would still give them that advantage that they don't
Right.
have. I think that it's so much of this is linked back to this division
Sunfruit.
between the two, the Sunfruit and Frey's anger and punishment.
To
Which
be honest, it seems like a little bit of overkill on the punishment. Like, these folks have had nothing to do with it. That's pretty shitty.
sounded like Frey was quite greedy for this fruit.
It must be really good, right?
And the fact that the Dark Elves who didn't consume it, it is only the Light Elves. They became Light Elves when they ate it.
Right.
The Dark Elves never did such a
They
thing.
still got their wings clipped too. Willoughby, do you know anything about the sun fruit? Like, is it, I don't know, must be really
Is it
good, huh?
Yggdrasil or...
Yeah, is it like magic or?
Hey, Joseph. How's Willoughby feeling about sunfruit? Right.
Roll. Give me a history check.
Like, if I ate a sun fruit,
Or an
would
insight
I
check.
get like wings and
Or
like,
insight?
Yeah, or insight.
Dragon form!
yeah, right.
22 on insight.
Didn't even need it.
You don't go for history because you're trying to think of any recollection. You've never heard of this name. But then you'd remember having seen during parties Frey often
Parties.
bringing a basket of fruit that almost glowed in itself. You'd hand it out to people and he'd always be sat there eating one. Almost habitual in the way he acts with them. It wouldn't be something you'd never have questioned before, but it makes sense that it could be this.
Man's an addict.
I mean, Frey would sometimes bring those to the parties, to the gatherings of the
Ah,
gods
shit.
at Asgard, or at least something close to the description.
He was bringing the snacks to the parties.
I wanted to ask so when we go in here because my fear is that we need to stop this fear without a doubt, but I don't want the dark elves to suffer. I don't.
It seems shitty that like everybody's going to be like, "Oh, the dark elves did it. It was their fault." And like, I don't know. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, when they
I
were
don't know, I don't
probably
like it.
out of their minds. Also,
Yes, it does
why
seem
are
that
they-
this transformation is definitely not making them of sound mind. It seems to.
She said they were like zealoty, and also why are they bringing light elves into it? If when we heard from the other monarch that like they were dying, right? Like light elves, if they came in contact.
We don't know
There's
if
a
that's
lot of
true.
stuff we can't really figure out until
No. Seen
gotten
it.
closer and/or gotten into it ourselves. Although I will
True.
remind everyone again that we have a habit, it seems, of biting off more than we should be chewing at a time. And currently, right now, all we're employed to do here is deal with the sphere.
Very true. Very true. You're right. We can't do
It
more
is
until
not-
we're inside.
Necessarily our duty right now to solve the
We're going to
war
like
between these.
look into
No.
it. I don't know that I'm like, what is our plan? Oh look, it's the darkness. Let's see what happens. We tie rope to each other in case we get lost.
Again, we won't know the effects. We don't know how strong the darkness is until we get there.
Either way, yes, we need to get there.
All right, it's 40
40
minutes.
minutes.
Let's
40
go.
minutes. Go.
That way.
Okay.
Oh shit, I was gonna go that way.
You continue walking, and you pass by underneath where you'd notice where Underroot must be. As you can see, there's kind of a darker patch far above, and on the ground you can see where branches and kind of some kind of remnants of old weaponry has fallen to the ground and clattered. You can see kind of markings on portions of the tree, which maybe magic or even just kind of swords that have glanced against it. But you pass by Underroot and continue heading in the direction of the darkness. And it's about 20 minutes later you properly see it now. The trees blinding your vision, but it is dark beneath the roots, but almost pitch black ahead. And when you get in range and get towards a clearing where some of the trees have collapsed and fallen into this, others which have just kind of grown into it and maybe grown a little bit more crooked as they go up, the bark hardening on the outsides of it, you can see this just dark orb, massive, a good maybe 70 feet up in this kind of circular kind of orb, just emanating magic, very slightly growing as you get closer. There's no real kind of light beating down. Well, maybe there's light beating down onto the sphere from where a couple of the trees have collapsed, but it all ends whenever it hits the sphere. It's just darkness emanating, which almost gives it the outline of the spherical object itself to see the light on top. You can see as well that anything within like 5 feet of it, almost like wind on the opposite way around, is like when you're on the opposite end of a fan, it's kind of blowing into it. And everything, like the smaller trees, like bend slowly inwards as it expands, almost drawing them in.
Well, nobody touched that.
Like looking at the sphere right now, is there any like this feels like a reach? Is there anything that's emerging from it currently from where we are right now?
Roll a perception check.
Cool. For this, I'm going to enter Dragon State.
Okay.
That is a 18.
18. You'd look around and you'd see like a singular bird like flies out of it. Just looks like a kind of a normal sparrow. Untouched, unharmed, not filled with the carapace. But soon after you'd see one of those twin-headed snakes you'd seen previously crawls out of it, and this time it's got these kind of small hardened legs. And it's more like a millipede in its design, but with two kind of snake heads on the outside. And the snake heads have kind of almost like crocodile-like jaws. And this time that crawls around and goes up a tree and starts hunting after something up in a tree. But you can recognize its design being that twin-headed snake. Other than that, you don't see really anything coming out right now. Maybe some bugs that kind of get drawn in, but for the most part, those are the only couple animals you come across.
Can anybody see anything like inside?
Right. So hold up. So that bird visually flew out of it for me.
Yes,
and it
Who's gonna
looked
approach that
fine.
bird?
and it looked fine. You're going to talk to the bird, you say?
Willoughby wants to try to speak to animals with that bird.
Okay. It's flying like away, and then we're going to say to it,
You there, creature that emerged from the sphere.
begins flying above you. And lands on your shoulder. Kind of twists its head inquisitively.
How you feeling?
You speak bird.
I do speak bird. I speak every animal. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I got a bit blown in there, though. I flew out.
Right. Well, say I offer you this delicious snack. Willoughby will reach his hand over to one of you. He doesn't carry rations. He's gonna reach his hand over to one of you to give him something that he can use to bribe this bird.
I give like the sweet alfheim apple, which I still have in my inventory.
Berries.
Willoughby
you
has
grow
not
berries.
clocked the berries on his own body yet.
Game's right.
Hilarious.
Until someone in the group
I picked
points it
one and
out
I
to
ate
him,
it.
he
No, I'm
doesn't
kidding.
look at stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll give Willoughby a sweet alfheim apple.
A whole apple? How big is this bird?
Yeah, this bird's only, it's only a sparrow, so it
That's
looks
what I
scary.
have. He asked for a ration. I got this. Is what I got. Have apple.
You
Hang
could-
on, let me carve off a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a knife.
It tilts its head.
I use
I have
hands.
one.
And
See,
you know what?
shopping.
Juno breaks the apple in half
Yeah,
with her bare
okay.
fucking hand.
That is acceptable.
Like what's his name does? Like Sean Locke. Just
Yeah.
No, Bob Mortimer.
That
Bob
right
Mortimer
there
does.
is yours if you're willing to fly back into there and take a look around for us.
But I just flew out.
Once again, that right there is yours if you do it again.
Making a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah, come on.
I'll break the apple into smaller and smaller pieces.
That is a 6.
No. It's a bird, though. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, bird.
Can Juno flourish at the apple like, look at all of this
No.
bounty?
Also, trust me, you don't want Juno making charisma checks either.
I don't want to go back in there. I can find fruit elsewhere. But can I have a piece now anyway for landing?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It's only if you do the thing. Do you think I'm a charity? Just a quick in and out.
Why would I go
Oh.
back in? It's just fruit. What more have you got?
Well, what more do we have?
What number apple was it?
What is
Is the apple what
It's
is
a
the bird?
48,
Yeah.
though. Come on.
You're dealing with an incredibly high quality apple. Listen.
What do you
We're
Might
just
be the
listening
best
to
deal
Willoughby
you
tweet.
get.
We're just hearing Willoughby making our
Chirp. Yeah.
tweet,
what do
tweet,
you
tweet.
say to it?
Hmm?
What are you saying to the bird?
Oh, is it
I'm
going?
trying to barter with the bird before I use magic to force the bird to do it, okay?
Oh, what do you need it to do?
I want him to go back in. He came out perfectly fine. I want him to go back in. I was going to see through his eyes.
Oh, that makes sense.
But if he's not going to cooperate, I
What
will
does he
simply
want for-
take control.
What does he want for payment?
Weird.
I've got
It
some
seems
dried.
like more apples.
I've got some nice like leaves and stuff I took
I don't
from
think birds eat
dark
leaves.
elves. Like there might be some worms or something in here. I don't know.
Can we get like a nice spread of things for the bird? What's your name?
If you don't
Bird.
use your magic,
Yeah,
I
what
could
does he
send
want?
something in.
I'm Spiru.
Spiru,
Spiru the sparrow.
Spiru the sparrow.
I just made it up now.
You just
Oh,
made
shit,
it
good
up
for
right
him.
now.
I like this bird. This bird's got a creative streak. Bird's gonna be a
Did you ask
writer.
him what he wants? Just like
What
they.
would? So it seems like there's some kind of issue with the current offerings I'm providing you. Perhaps there's something you could describe to me as to what you would like instead.
I would like every piece of that apple.
He wants the whole apple.
Okay.
Oh, what a hard bargain.
Boy, oh boy.
I looks
That's
across,
gonna really
not
set
really
us
understanding
back there.
anyone here, just like looking.
But if you say so,
I present
you
the
do-
hot
if you
broken
do a
into tiny
whole-
pieces.
you do a straight
All of
hard
those
all the way through that sphere to center and back, we will give you the whole apple.
Okay. But one quick fly.
Quick fly.
Okay. And I take a piece
When,
now.
when Willoughby says that, he's going to cast Beast Sense
Okay.
on the bird. So for the duration of the spell, if I use it on a willing beast, you can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to your previous senses.
Okay. He'd lean down to take one bit of the apple. And lift it in its
I
beak.
put my hand to only a small piece. Is
And it takes it.
Wow.
Remind your friend that I'll be taking the rest of it when I get back.
Oh,
How's he
he's
gonna carry it all?
aware. He's aware.
And it,
Sorry, that was the wrong spell. I'm not casting that one.
JK.
okay. It flies in. And there's a point where it has to kind of put its wings against the pressure as it gets dragged in. Goes and just passes through like a kind of a puff of cloud. And you can see through its vision right now, can't you?
Yes, and here.
It passes into the darkness. And it's much brighter on the other side. But not with sunlight. It is blue with moonlight. A soft hue of blue all around, but it's like being on the clearest night you've ever been on. Walking down through this tree line of Alfheim in the lower roots has kind of been very much a case of like only seeing as far as a couple of trees away from you. And even then, it's been near pitch black at points. Very hard to kind of maneuver your way through. But in here, it feels crystal clear. You can see past trees. You can see various animals climbing around. It's almost like a kind of a blue night vision, if you will. It's like basking in moonlight. But the moonlight doesn't glow from the top of this sphere. It doesn't glow from the edges. It glows from the center. And as the bird flies forward, you see a small encampment has been set up in the center. After a few minutes of flying, in a small area in the middle of these trees, you can see several dark elves that have kind of come together with weapons and arms. Their bodies look to be like they're wearing kind of plated armor on them. And you see it's almost like a shell of a bug, a beetle, across their body. They hold spears, and the end of them has kind of almost like it's almost got like almost like a wind turbine, these blades that spin slowly. And they stand there in kind of about 8 of them in a line. Others flying in the area and flying off and around the darkness. You can see, roll a perception check for me through the eyes of this creature. So a sparrow would have...
So I'm rolling this through, like, with the creature's perception.
yeah, because you're seeing through its
Okay,
eyes.
so
technically.
would Dragon Constellation apply to this then? Or would this not? See, this is where it gets confusing.
Okay.
I'd be okay with just rolling it flat, since technically I can't
It's
make the
technically
sparrow
your
look
check.
around.
So I would say, yeah, it does. It's a +3.
Okay. So
You can use your
Come on,
translation.
Spiru.
20 plus
We believe.
3. So this lowest it can be is a 13. 15.
You'd see various dark elves have collected this. They're flying back and forth with a fruit from this tree. And a tree right in the center of the gathering is red with leaves and has many pieces of fruit hanging down from it. Similar to the sun fruit, but these ones glow blue. And they've been collecting them, and they grow fast. And these dark elves fly off into the woods. You see as one leans down and feeds to another animal, and you see one. Let's see if they see the bird. Can you roll a stealth check with the bird? It is going to be
It's
a
a bird stealth. Dex modifier.
it's a +3.
Man, it's a sparrow. It's
D20 plus
gotta be
3.
good. It's
Better than
tiny.
Willoughby's.
Shit.
13.
It manages to avoid detection, but only just. It moves aside. You can see the dark elves are feeding animals, putting this kind of bit of fruit in front of them so they can eat it. You see some of them rubbing the fruit against the trees around the area. And as soon as the trees kind of get splattered with the fruit, they start to grow thicker and stronger bark. The trees across here all are strengthened by it. And in front of that red tree stands a kind of a stronger looking dark elf with wings more like a dragonfly themselves, 4 sets of them, thick and broad. A few other dark elves stand as like kind of honor guard, but it's a kind of a splintered camp. In hanging kind of nets, these almost like baskets hanging from branches, you can see light elves captured. Probably about
Okay.
15 of them in different, just off different branches. And there, next to the kind of main dark elf who stood near the tree, talking softly to each of the creatures there, but you wouldn't be able to understand. You also see a human with dark kind of green hair, dark skin, very green eyes as well. His hair is kind of almost like black and green as it goes down and fades off. Almost, you can see these kind of soft, almost like very, very, very thin dreads on his hair as they kind of go back. And he sits down and he's talking to the main elf and spinning a little wand in his hand over and over. And your bird flies back out, flies straight back towards you.
When the bird lands, Willoughby will give him the rest of the apple. He fall through on his side of the deal.
He begins eating them.
So, from what I saw in there, Willoughby will relay everything he saw, but also go into more detail in that. I believe that what we're looking at here is that it's the fruit causing these
Yeah.
creatures to change. Whatever we're looking at here is nothing more than
It's just darkness.
magical
We should
darkness
be
expanding.
okay.
Nothing stopping us from going in, though we may have a fight on our hands once we
Yeah.
get inside.
What was inside?
Willoughby did relay
Oh, yeah.
everything.
So like they made their own version of tree, right? Like their own fruit. And now they are just changing the environment, and that is what is causing the expansion, maybe? So who's the guy with the wand?
Draven, I imagine. The one who started all of this. The question is, why, if the fruit must do something to the minds, because the Dark Elves act differently when they come out, apparently.
Do they act differently though because it's like a thing that is happening to them, or because somebody in the center is like, hey man, we no longer have to be beholden to the shitty lighthouse
don't
and the
think
sun
so.
fruit. Do you know what I mean?
I could
Like,
ask the weird snake if it ate the fruit. Wasn't there a snake that walked out with like legs or something, Joe?
yeah,
Yeah.
ask him
If
if
it
he
ate
likes
the fruit, then that seems
It's
pretty...
like, try and get a sense of if it still has its faculties, because the thing that the light elf woman that we just spoke to, she said that the Dark Elves appeared.
zealoty and weird.
They weren't as intelligent. She said that they didn't seem as cognizant.
Right.
When it
if
came.
I'm
But
gonna
see
go
if
to
the snake.
this thing, you guys gotta kill it if it jumps at me, all right?
The snake?
Sure.
Okay, I will get a dagger ready.
You'll, approach it and try to speak with animals on the
Just head towards you.
snake.
Growls
head?
for a moment.
I'm kidding.
The front one. Which you don't know what that means. Yeah, you can't speak with animals.
Yes.
Don't come any closer.
We're not gonna come any closer. We just wanted to ask you a question or two. Do you happen to eat any weird fruit while you were in that dark sphere?
We ate a glowing one. Yeah, the head goes, yes, we did.
Have you been feeling since you ate that?
Better. Quicker. Smarter.
Right. Any so you've been feeling just better, no physical pains, any desire to kill, maim, viciously attack someone?
We're hungry. Yes, we're hungry. But we were hungry before, too.
Right. Do you mind if I take a quick look at you a little bit closer?
Make a
Easy, you can't eat me. I'm made out of wood.
make an animal
right.
handling check for me.
I'm a fucking tree. What are you gonna do?
I'm a tree. What can you do? That's
Ask him
20.
if he likes having legs. I'm kidding.
You sit lean and go. Very well.
I just wanted to get in there and take a look at this thing with another medicine check.
Go
Now
for
that it's like freshly changed. That's an 18 because I'm in dragon still.
Okay. It is. You can see that it's kind of, whereas like the previous kind of reptilian skin, it's hardened to be more like an alligator skin. It's a little bit stronger and sturdier. Its mouth clearly has venom in it, but it also can clamp down a lot sharper. Seems a little bit tougher. The legs seem both capable of climbing and also digging into the ground and also making it move a little quicker. Seems almost enhanced.
What all creatures have we seen like come out of the ferret thing, the two-headed snake, and then the bird that was fine?
Mhm.
Have we seen did we see any other animals come out?
Not come out, no.
I was just wondering if they're all enhanced in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like, does every two-headed snake that goes in there come out like this one, or? But we know.
Did it look different when it came out?
Like, did it
Like
transform
during?
as it came into the light?
It
Yes.
looked the
You mean?
same as it looks now as it was coming out of the darkness.
Okay.
Okay, so it wasn't like when it came into the light, it then mutated and
No.
transformed. Yeah,
Right.
I think I was thinking the same thing. Okay.
So to be clear, just to cover everything, you started feeling better and more powerful after you ate them.
We didn't put that together, but maybe.
Oh shit! Now he's gonna tell his friends.
He's gonna eat more fruit.
And you felt the same as you did entering this darkness as you did once you were in it.
We got too close and it drew us in. We thought it was going to eat us. It felt the same on the other side.
Pulls people in.
Well, that's all we need to know. Thank you very much.
Joe, can I use
We'll be able
divine
to find
sense
some food.
Ooh.
Yeah.
to see if this thing has any traits of celestial fiend or undead in it?
Sure. You reach out to detect it. None.
Cool. Good to know.
I think Juno is kind of looking at this darkness. Is like, well, if I'm happy to try and go in and come back, tell you how I feel as the sort of most no strangeness. Well, I guess Eldred and I are sort of normal humans. I think.
Given everything I just gathered, it seems like there's really no reason to not all just go and get this dealt with already.
Yeah. Okay.
Split
If
up.
you think
Like
that
the
there's,
light-
if you don't think that there's any threats, yeah. Okay.
If the light elves were just in like net cages, right, and they're fine for being in there, it is the fruits that must change people and things, right?
Sure.
I think.
So the real question is, how aggressive are we going to be going in here if in fact this is not a sphere killing people, but in fact a bunch of dark elves inside of a sphere feeding people fruit? Because I have my own.
They are capturing. They're capturing the light elves. I think that this is what I would want to do is go in and maybe find the source of the darkness that's turning these fruits and maybe stop it, if that's what we're intending to do. I think that there was something I mentioned about planting a seed in the ground that then has created this thing. Maybe we could destroy that. That's causing
I
this
was planning
darkness.
on speaking directly to the thing making the fruit.
I'm going
There
to
you
talk
go.
to the tree and say, like,
Hey, that
"Hey, man,
works.
stop it."
I don't want to. If any of the dark elves fight us, I'd rather try and knock them unconscious. I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
if they're under a spell or something from the fruit.
Not even that. I feel that they're just trying to even the playing field here a little. Like, it sounds like the light elves have got a pretty sweet deal. They get to live up the top where these sun fruits are. They get all the favors from Frey. The dark elves have to live down here where it's dangerous. I feel like they're just trying to find ways to
Feels
survive. But I don't still. If they're capturing light elves,
it is something that went
I
wrong,
don't-
right? Rather than this
Sure.
is exactly the plan that they had.
so I don't want to. I'm going to try and just knock people out if I can.
Do we want to walk right in and right up? You said Willoughby right the Sperosa, like it was right in the center, and there were like a bunch
Have
of
a little
guards,
base
and then
camp.
more flying in and
It
out.
makes sense.
So like, do we want to walk right in straight to the center? Do we want to like sneak in, go like what is our approach here?
I mean, either A, we go in just real aggressive about it and make a whole scene, probably kill most of them, knowing our track record. B, we sneak in, likely escalate violently, knowing our track record. Once we get there, C, we could send a message in and have them come out to us. Or D, kind of like a mix of all of those in a kind of just mess. I'm fine
D.
with any.
I think D is what most likely to happen.
Yeah. I'm with Juno, staying as non-violent as possible. And just trying to turn off the thing that is
Yeah, I
being
mean, I
the
think-
problem.
Until we know, I don't know. I don't want to go in and like, right? I don't want to go in and kill a bunch of people when it like.
I know you'll laugh because it's very much me. I want to ask this Dervand questions. I want to know their side of the story. Like, why do this? How did he do this? So that they do this.
Do you think he's the dude with the like the dragonfly wings? And then, like I said, who's the
wand?
person with the green hair and eyes with the wand? If that's not Draven.
More questions we won't know until we go inside.
Willoughby's been seeing Draven just shaking his fucking head. I guess.
Draven doesn't say anything.
Trying to
He
clock
uses
what he's thinking right
he uses Mask of Many Faces to make himself look like a dark elf wearing robes, and in the palm of his hand, a tiny little sprite appears for but a moment, and he looks at them and says, "Hide again. It's going to be weird."
If Draven's kind of been staying quiet, I think Juno would want to turn around and be like, what do you think? I mean, Eldred and I have made our sort of concerns clear. Do you have a preference, Draven? Is there a way that you want to approach this? Do you have thoughts or anything that you think we should know?
I think personally that we should avoid speaking to them, because I have no doubt that when all of you walk in, you are trespassers and outsiders. They have no truce with you. If they try to kill you, I'm not saying you have to be peaceful, but you at this point are invaders.
Very true.
Also, what was that small little?
That was
What is that?
what?
There's a little
Little
guy.
thing in your hand.
Oh, that was Ureus.
Oh, who's that?
Of course.
You have a little friend. That's good.
I do. I was going to send them in before you controlled the bird, but you were on a mission, so I figured
I've been
out.
at this a long time.
What is its name?
Ureus.
Arius.
I mean, you can still do your thing.
No, that's fine. I would love to see how this plays
Do you want me
out.
to slow my roll next time? You need like a window to do your
Not
thing.
at all. You just seemed very angry at the duck.
You were very angry at the bird.
Was it a duck? I don't know.
Did you think that was a duck?
It is a spit. No, there's
Not
ducks are
have
bigger, like they're on the.
like that.
You gotta know what ducks are.
I mean, we have owl, we have
I
owls.
gotta.
That didn't rhyme on purpose, but
That was good though. I liked it.
I'm certainly up for trying to, if we do go in, trying to be quiet, trying to be undetected.
that's why I look like this.
I wish I could do that.
If we're trying to be undetected, I can cast a spell, but I do need to
I can help as
emphasize
well.
that the last fight we had, I needed quite literally all of my power to keep us all from dying.
You really, really did.
And
It was
every single time I use a spell, we go closer and closer to our imminent demise.
I can
Is that
I
not the
can
way of
help
life?
out.
No, that's the way of death, Juno. What the fuck are you talking
I can help out a person at a time with being sneaky, and if we were trying to, if we went one at a time through somewhere, I can give one
Juno
person help
looks at
a
Eldred.
time. But
What?
Just with all your clanky chainmail or whatever it is that you're wearing.
Oh, the bones are
above board,
loud.
I can give someone blessing of the trickster. It's only an action, so like if we had to cross like a open space, we could just go one at a time, and I could bless everyone one after another. Also above board, because I realize we're running out of time. Lena would pick her boon before they go in, but Joe, I have a couple questions for you. So I'm assuming that
Sure.
we're ending before we're going in. And
Yes.
Then,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to try to wrap things up really quickly.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
I also heal faster now.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, step yourself. Let me see how fast.
I
I'm
do not
kidding.
know
I'll
what
do
I
it.
do.
So,
Hey, Willoughby, what is that on you? You don't know what to do.
You
like,
got
you have
weird
a white
berries.
spot.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got
say.
like a white
I don't do
thing
that. I
here
don't do
now,
that.
and like you got the berries. When did that happen? Is that a
What are
new
you
thing?
talking about?
The berry, right there. You've got the berries.
Oh shit. What the
And
hell?
that's where we'll end the episode. We'll go like,
Yeah.
oh shit, a good ending. But yes, we are running out of time, so we'll have to try to wrap things up just before going inside and entering into. I don't have to tell you what's inside now. You've already seen. So yeah, into the moonlit, dark spherical portion of this forest to discover what's up with that tree.
What's up with that?
What's up with that tree?
That's the name of the
I don't
next
even need
episode.
dark
I can't wait
vision.
for it.
What's the fucking deal with that thing?
What's up with that
Get
tree?
rid of dark vision. I don't even need it here.
That's true. Yeah, it works on the outside. All right, let's finish up there. Thanks
All
everyone
right.
for playing as per usual. We are off next week because we got a couple missing, but we will be back the week after. So that'll be the 9th, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Because it's second, we're off. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back on the 9th to explore this. I think we should have Brett back for that as well.
Hey.
So we'll bring him back in.
Right on.
In the
He's
meanwhile, though,
there in the middle, just like chilling. Hey guys,
Probably
Right.
in a cage.
he's in a
Oh, that'd be
net.
so convenient.
I was just walking by and then I got like kidnapped and now
Good
I'm
job.
Back. I'll be right back. And he just goes by accident straight to the
Yeah.
sphere and walks right
yeah.
in.
Next week, next time we're gonna just see that he solved the whole thing. I'm just gonna cuck all of
Yeah.
you guys, and he comes
Yeah.
up. Oh yeah, no, I did it all.
He's
yeah, it's
just
fine.
twirling the wand. Everyone's like
at least it
laying
was a guest PC and not a
unconscious.
DM NPC
Yeah.
that fixed everything
Yeah,
for us. At least. Yeah. Right.
All right, so let's do some shout-outs and finish up for the night. Let's start off with Mark. Welcome back.
Oh, hello. Sherlock Humes, pretty much everywhere on the internet. Your favorite social media platform, ones that are dying, ones that aren't dying, ones that are just starting off. Sherlock Humes, whichever your preference is on those places. In terms of stuff coming up, I believe Gabe's gonna. I know Gabe's gonna be there because he's doing cool stuff, and he'll probably talk about that. I don't know if any of the other guys are gonna be there, but I'm gonna be at PAX Unplugged next week, which is why I can't do the show. So if you're going to PAX Unplugged, or if you want to try and swing a last-minute thing to come see me, because I'm not always in the US, I don't get to go to US cons very often. I'm going to be there. We're doing a live finale episode for Knights of Evening Star. It's the final. We're going to do that live on the main stage. And then I don't really have anything else. I'm just kind of there for this one thing. I'm going to be wandering around. I'm going to be watching Gabe do cool stuff.
Sweet.
Nice.
And then just wandering around. So yeah, if you see me, just grab me, come say hi, have a chat about D&D and stuff like that. If not, High Rollers is all now back on. Now that I'm back as well, we've been doing a lot of pre-recorded stuff while I've been away. that's kind of wrapping up. I think we've got like 2 months left of this campaign, 2-3 months left of our big main campaign. So that's a big one to come in and check out. We got some fun stuff planned for that. Sundays, High Rollers D&D just before Godforged. Sundays, D&D is for Sundays for D&D.
D&D's for Sundays.
High Rollers,
for
D&D Sundays, D&D's for Sundays. Yeah, watch High Rollers, watch Godforged, watch all the other amazing shows, and yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Cool.
Bam.
Oh, gee. Keep going, by the way, if you carry on. I'm just going to let my cat in at the same time.
Hey, I'm OLG. I don't have a cat. I don't have to let them in, which is pretty great. But I do have a dog who's actually has been pacing around behind me, if you guys can see her at all, and also angrily drinking her water because she's mad because there's apparently not enough of it. And so I can hear the like annoyance in her as she's like very aggressively drinking it. And then I heard her like slam her head against the sofa, like, come on, dude, get me some better stuff. So that's what I'm going to do when I'm done here. It's awesome having an old dog. I love it. I do.
I'm also gonna say that I did my outro while Juno.
That was amazing.
I
that was
was
one
listening
of the
the
best
whole time.
outros I've ever heard.
What a
I was trying to cover
my
for you.
cat. I'm looking after my dog's. I'm looking after my brother's dog, and it's a little shit. It's a little what are they called, French bulldogs, and it is so mean to my cat. So my cat only comes in my window when he's
that's
here.
unfortunate.
So yeah,
because they're not little shits. They're amazing dogs.
This one's a little shit. This one's a little boy.
That's fine.
He's
This
awful.
one though.
So I had to get my cat in through the window. Tomato, you were just saying something about shout. I heard you say a shout. Twitch.tv/Tomato. You can go check him out all week.
You've made it so much easier for me. It's so fucking nice.
Yeah, he's gonna be playing Roblox this week. I think he's got some Minecraft Hunger Games going.
Not inaccurate.
Wait,
Are
really?
you?
Am I close?
There's a Roblox thing I actually did it too.
What a shot in the dark! What a shot in the dark!
That divination paid off.
That's a little secret going on. Brizzy.
Instagram Brizzy Voices, Twitter Brizzy Voices, YouTube Brizzy Voices, Twitch.
Yay!
Yay.
Play Bayonetta 3 and God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Please play them.
Especially Bayonetta 3. Viola!
Badass. First voice in the game. Gabe.
First voice.
Gabe James Games pretty much everywhere. Like Mark said, I'll be at PAX Unplugged Friday, main stage for a WotC sponsored Dragonlance one shot.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be playing. I have avoided a specific class in D&D all my life, and I said I was only gonna do it if it was.
That's what your choice was. Your Twitter poll. Why have you avoided it? Why have you avoided it?
Because everyone thinks I would be. Everyone thinks I would be.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's fair.
All right.
Right at this point. And then I was like, I'm not gonna tell y'all what this poll is, but you got to pick one. And they screwed me.
I feel that I'm totally motivated by spite. I get that, man.
Also, Sunday, I am going to be in a panel with that bronze girl for a just talking about like playing in worlds of just different sort of cultural influences. Because Jasmine,
Awesome.
Tuesdays we play through Shakar, which is a fully Desi inspired
Very
D&D
cool.
game, and then we have a signing on Sunday, which is weird as hell. I
Oh,
don't know.
fun.
Your hand is going to be so cramped.
I'm going to start signing fake names. Just know
Nice.
should.
Yeah.
understand that.
Absolutely.
Sign out your characters.
Yeah. Other than that, not much. I'm setting up. Joe inspired me. I'm setting up a Patreon to like get my game stuff
Nice.
in one place. Just because I'm like, A, I need an archive. B, if Twitter does explode, I need to get
Right?
those people to
Yeah.
give me money before they go.
Yeah.
For
That's
real.
the
Truth,
fucking
man.
Spirit, man.
Yeah. I'm like,
the
hey,
truth.
you know what? I don't know if y'all gonna follow me somewhere else, but if you follow me with your card, that's enough.
That's all I need.
Um,
And then that's it.
Awesome. Well, you can find me on this channel, everyone. I play another game called Godforge. I run on Sundays. That is also towards the end. It's after High Rollers at 8:30 p.m. GMT now. And yeah, we're in the kind of high ends. The players are basically building up their items, the final legacy items before they're up against. At this point, I can
Two
probably
down, right?
say, close your ears if you don't want.
One down.
Up against the 10th hell. So big stakes. And yes, that's on Sundays. Other than that, come on by and we'll see you all in 2 weeks. We have a Patreon if you want to go and see behind the scenes notes and whatnot, and also a Discord if you want to go and chill in there and talk about the episode. Thanks everyone for playing. And yeah, we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Have a great time at PAX Unplugged, guys. And we'll see you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.